Unite and Win episode 27. Man, my hair is curling. It's crazy. It's curling like your toes in anticipation to sit down and witness this episode with YouTube sensation Kirk Fagan. We sat down for a couple hours. This is my longest interview I've conducted that I know of. And we talked how he got his start in tattooing, our opinions on tattooing, the tattoo industry, you know, where it's gone and where it's going, and anticipation and thoughts and I don't know. It's kind of a blur. But it was a good time. It was cool getting to know Kirk, getting to work with him all day at my shop before we got to chop it up all night. And I'm grateful I got to share this space. And I'm grateful I got to share this this conversation that we had with you. So without further ado, this is a Kirk Fagan interview.
So one, I'll say like, yeah, I just like a good tattoo. Like, I think that it's very easy to define what a good tattoo is versus a bad tattoo.
Yeah.
So like, I don't give a shit how we get to there.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a good tattoo. So I have an appreciation and a love for just that part of it.
Yeah.
Two, like, I've always only loved traditional.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have another tattoo or would have ever gotten another tattoo unless I found traditional, which is like, you know, pretty unique, you know, for a young kid getting into tattooing. But traditional is the only thing I liked in tattooing. I think there were, you know, like I grew up going to fucking hardcore shows and stuff like
that's
that.
That's what you see, yeah.
And you see trash too. You see like the stuff that is like tattoo. It's just a tattoo, whatever it is. But the only stuff that I ever thought was cool was traditional. And now I've adjusted to be more like just a good tattoo.
But do you think from doing walk-ins, like, it does make you somewhat appreciate, like, fuck yeah, I killed that palm tree? Like, it gives you a different perspective of, like, you may, it's not what you'd wear, but it's like
I don't care about I care about when it's a walk-in tattoo specifically,
right.
I really only care about the experience for the person. Like, I don't give a shit about, do they like the thing? And is it a good tattoo? And that is all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't not care.
But sometimes what they like and when it's a good tattoo aren't the same.
Sure. But at the end of the day, if they want a bad tattoo, I will give them a bad tattoo.
That's real street shop shit.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like, you are getting what you want because your experience is more important than what I perceive as a good tattoo, even though I hold that that's very important to me, obviously.
Yeah,
but
see, that's
I
a
care
tricky
more
thing.
About them.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing because it's like, you know, if you don't like their tattoo, you're an asshole. And then if you like, all right, if you
but I don't like anyone's tattoos. Like, you know, there's a very specific tattoo that I have in my mind that I like.
Yeah.
And then there's things that I think are good.
Yeah.
And then there's every fucking thing else. Yeah. So it's like, I don't judge anything based off of what I like because it's so fucking narrow. And I'm so harsh on like what I think is interesting, you know?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I just care that they end up, you know, it's a fucking walk-in shop, dude.
Yeah.
We are doing the same thing every day, and it's about the quality and how they like it. Do they like this tattoo? Are they going to leave with a happy thing? And I, you know, like in the grand scheme of tattooing, I think that the clients get lost when tattooers talk. And clients get lost when we think about what tattooing should be. And it's like, they own this shit. Like, we love this shit.
Right.
And we care the most about it. But they own it, dude. Like, that's them. Like, we're just fucking little boats hanging out in the wave of fucking tattoos. And they run this. And we could try and manipulate it and try and play with it. And that's great. And I love that. I love trying to persuade it. But it's about the client.
Yeah, I agree. I went through a weird thing where I would kind of like, I feel like I'd weigh in a little bit too much on like some of the walk-in stuff back in the day and really try to sway it to my thing. And it's just like, it's not my tattoo. And if I can talk them out of that idea, good, they didn't want it. If I can't talk them out of it, good, I should do it, you know? And I don't know, now I would grill them for like 10 minutes. Like, you sure you want it upside down? You know? And now it's like, it's more like a 2-minute thing. Like, all right, cool. Yep, I'll do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
They come in, want like the thing bootlegged, and I'll be like, I'll draw my version. I'm like, this is my version. This is why I like this version, blah, blah, blah. Or I can bootleg that one. I'll do it to a T. Like, I will do that for you today.
Yeah.
Personally, I think this is cooler.
Yeah.
It's up to you. And they're like, oh, well, I'm like, don't feel bad. You wear this.
Yeah.
You know? And when I bootleg it, that's fun too. Cause I'm like, it's a little challenge. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna fucking try to match that weird green and fucking whatever, you know?
Totally.
So I try.
Put that fucking tat on a goddamn printer. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They bring me a picture, I'll tattoo that damn thing. I don't care who. It's not my fucking thing. Yeah. And it's not the person who did the thing. Mm-hmm. It's the client. They got to wear this shit. Do the best for who's in front of you when they're.
Yeah. If I go to a restaurant and I'm like, oh, could I get no cheese on that? They don't have to want to eat it for lunch.
Yeah.
But they do a good job, and I'm happy that I got my fucking weird thing with no cheese on it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's something that's happened as I aged in tattooing, but we have these ideas of what it is and how a tattoo is supposed to look. Mm-hmm. And my fucking whole channel is built around what I think a tattoo should look like. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the fucking day, who cares what I think?
Yeah, it's just your hot take.
Doing that thing, you know? And the whole channel is built to hopefully change some people's perspective on what I think a good tattoo is.
Right.
I don't fucking when they're there. It's do the thing that they want, as long as they're not doing it, and as long as you give the warnings and you say all the different things that we always fucking say. It's like, who cares, dude? Give them what they want. They're the ones who have to wear it. Yeah. And I truly think. I mean, I watch a lot of tattoo content shit. Obviously. And I think that's the problem with most people in tattooing.
Do you seek out all of the videos, or do you get sent in a lot? Are you getting tagged constantly? Yo, talk shit on this. What's up with this?
I get I don't know, 100 messages a day of.
Because I feel like it'll start to come to you at a certain point.
No, I go to my messages. Yeah. I've never been less on the internet than I am now. People send me it. I go to the messages. I look at it. I might never respond. They might be in the fucking unopened place, but I'm going to go find that and take it. And then, we're doing 2 a week. So that's about 30 clips a week. So I'm not scrolling, doc. I can't, I don't have enough time in the world to go scroll for 30 clips every single week.
Right. It's a lot to gather. But at a certain point when you make that your thing, they just start coming to you.
They just send them.
That's rad.
And I try, my whole goal in life is to make things as easy as possible so I could do more, so that's definitely one of the ways that they, the people who watch make my life a million times easier.
So let's rewind back a bit. Okay. You said you worked in the IE and I wasn't aware. Where are you from? What's your deal?
So I'm from Walnut. I don't know if you know,
Los Angeles kind of.
Yeah, LA River or LA Inland Empire and Orange County where they all meet.
Yeah.
And we're
didn't they
not
have that big scandal with the city of Walnut? There was some corruption with money or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a few years back.
I haven't lived in Walnut in the last 10 years.
Okay.
But yeah, so to do a quick run through, I am originally, or my original shop that I ever worked at was a shop hand at was Classic in Fullerton.
Cool.
And then I worked there for 2 years, and my mentor, his name's Mikey Tay. He's LA dude. He moved around a bunch during this short period while I was apprenticing, so he dragged me to out to one shop, then to another shop, which would have been Envision in Grand Terrace, and then back to Fullerton at a different shop from Classic called Tip Top. And then that's where I finished out my actual apprenticeship.
Oh shit! So that might have been kind of a cool experience getting to I don't know, but it was seems neat to kind of get to experience that.
It was super cool. Especially coming from I was a shop hand at Classic, fucking when Dave Mosky owned it,
the brother of Eric, right?
The dad of Eric.
Okay, yeah.
And so that was really cool, and the tattooers who were there were amazing and super cool. And that's where I got my first tattoo, which was a fucking perched eagle that Mikey did. So I got tattooed at that cool shop, they're all rad tatters.
Yeah.
But then when we went on our journey through my apprenticeship, I was around a lot of good tattooers like Jacob Donnie and Joshua Marks, but I was still the kid who was getting dragged along. They didn't want me, they wanted Mikey.
For sure.
So I was just kind of almost getting fired from all these places all the time, and they didn't really want me.
Where were you living? How were you getting around to these places?
At the time, I moved back in. I had a place in Baldwin Park or something before this. And then I went back into my parents' house as I was apprenticing. So for 6 months, so I was just driving originally was driving to Fullerton, and then we went to, Montclair. Montclair, like in between here and Walnut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a shop there called Rise Above that we worked
Yeah,
at.
yeah. Okay, yeah. It's like Rialto, Montclair area.
Yeah. We worked there for a few weeks or a few months.
Brought you on a tour.
Yeah, we went from classic tattoo where he did my first tattoo, and he goes, "Hey dude, like if you stick at classic for 2 years, I'll teach you how to tattoo." And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
He moves halfway through it, and I was like, "No, I'm sticking it out at classic."
Yeah.
Finished the 2 years of classic, then I go on the road with him. So we went to Montclair first, Rise Above, then went to Envision in Grand Terrace, and I was just like going with him, not working, just fucking trying to survive. And we went there and then went back to Fullerton to a place called Tip Top Tattoo.
And then you ended up in like San Diego County somehow?
And then I moved to San Diego County. I realized that I was kind of like stuck doing traditional stuff, and I did not know how to do anything else. And I was kind of like, that's not tattooing to me, you know?
Right.
Like, you got to know how to do everything.
That's a trip, yeah. Learning from a traditional guy, just kind of being like, and then
going to Envision, where like Jacob and Josh were blowing up as traditional guys, so more traditional. And then we go to Tip Top, which if you've ever,
so you're only seeing one way of doing things.
I only knew one way, and I just came from classic, so it was like 4 different traditional shops. And I was like, this is super cool. I love traditional. It's all I've ever fucking cared about. But I'm never going to be able to make a living just doing traditional, because there's a million people who could do it better than me. So let me go somewhere where I could actually like learn the craft of tattooing in the full spectrum. So when I went to Vista, that's with Sam Phillips owns that shop. Fucking Micah Cottle, Ben Grillo, like another fucking banger tattooers. I got to learn so much more, and I got to actually learn how to like tattoo. And
that must have been really humbling, like being around like. I mean, being in that crew's got to be very humbling.
Well, dude, every step of my journey was like humbling.
That makes sense.
Like John Troller at Classic is probably still the fucking Billy Wang from Classic. Like these tattooers are fucking amazing. And I was blessed to be like part of it, even in a small way. At that time, fucking Matt Cannon was at the shop, like just banger ass tattooers. And then to go to Jacob Donnie, where he's a magician, dude. Like he does shit perfectly. So I was just always surrounded by really good tattooers, and I was always like, I am not really good. Like these guys are fucking crushers, you know?
Need to figure out something else.
I'm gonna fucking go back to school or something, dude. These guys are crushers. But then being in Vista, I really like learned how to tattoo, and
that's cool.
And it was nice because I'd been with Mikey for so long, but he was never the owner, so I always was kind of like, I was just kind of the runt kid.
Just floating,
just no one really wanted around, or, you know, I mean, maybe they did, or maybe they liked me or anything, but it didn't feel like that. Mikey was supposed to be there, and I was just there.
But going to Vista felt like it was the first shop that you got a job at that shop.
Yeah.
You have a place here.
I have a place there, and that shop was really hard to fit in at, because like those tattooers are great, and they're all super close. Like, all those tattooers have worked together for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Wow. And
I was the new young kid, and it was like, fuck, dude, I'm surrounded by people who know each other, who love each other, who are homies, grew up, went to high school together, and then there's me. And I, you know, so that was kind of hard and good, but now I consider those people family, you know, so.
Wow. So did you finally make the move, or are you still commuting and stuff?
No, I made the move. I moved to Vista. Yeah. And all that, I mean, that transitional period was like, I tattooed at Envision for 6 months. It was my first 6 months, so it was like really, it was really just cool. But it was only there for 6 months, and then I was in Fullerton again for about 1.5 years, 2 years. When
you were out like in Envision, was there any like, were you getting to make money? Was there much coming in Colton, or was it just like appointments if you had them?
No, it was appointments, and they were like, this was like back when Instagram was like the really happening, and like you could gain fame from it, and like Jacob Donnie and Josh.
If you had 20,000 followers, you had 20,000 likes. It was like 100% engagement back then.
Crazy. Yeah. I remember, I think Josh tattooed Halsey and some shit like that, and I was like, holy crap! Like, these people are like going for it, and I was an apprentice, so I knew nothing, and I probably pretended like I knew a whole lot.
But there was a little bit more to go around at that time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like post 09, 08 recession, and things were starting to get good again. And then, but yeah, I was not.
I feel like at that time period, like in 2013, 14, even up to 15, 16, if you had like 10,000 followers, you actually had 10,000 people paying attention.
Totally. Yeah. 100%.
You know, now if you have 100,000 followers, you get 1,000 likes. Like it doesn't really mean much anymore. The engagement is so low. Yeah. But the return was so high at that point.
It was crazy watching it, like seeing it, and and luckily I was doing super cheap tattoos, and I did a fuck ton in my first 6 months.
Good.
At that
That's
shop,
what you need to do. Yeah.
But I was always, after there, and then going back to Fullerton at that shop, I was doing a lot of tattoos, but it was like not cutting it, and I needed to go find out how to actually because Mikey Tay is amazing tattooer, fucking great mentor. He always took really good care of me, like protecting me against like my apprenticeship was mostly other tattooers bullying me, and my mentor was always like protecting me a lot, which was kind of cool, and really cherish that a lot. But I needed to get away, and he probably just didn't know how to tattoo other shit. And I was like, I'm going to make this a fucking living. I got to actually learn how to tattoo.
I'm lucky that when I started tattooing, I didn't know that I wanted to do traditional tattoos. Yeah. And like, they just tattooed whatever came in, and I didn't really find out that I want. I think I had styles I liked. I liked traditional, but I didn't really, I don't know. I think I just liked tattoos of things that I liked.
Yeah.
And then I think I liked like punk rock tattoos. I liked like heavy black stuff. So then from the graphic-y punk rock album covers, then it lent itself to liking traditional stuff. Yeah. And, but I luckily got to like learn how to tattoo. And then I think Instagram became important, and that's when I was like, oh, I need to like do a style of tattoo. Yeah. So I kind of benefit from that, but I feel sorry for like a lot of tattooers like right now who come up thinking they need a niche. Yeah. And they only know the niche. Yeah. And then they like are incapable of anything else. Yeah. Like
it's a tragedy.
It's bad,
you can see like, for me, it's like that you don't fucking know what you want.
Like what if you started tattooing today? Yeah. And you were like, and the shop told you need to have a niche when you don't know how to tattoo. Yeah. And you're like, I can't pull a line. I could scribble. Cyber sigils, that's my thing. Yeah. That's my thing. Totally. And then it's like, and you do this like funky scribble performance art, and then it's like, wow, look at this interpretive, modern art tattoo thing. But you're incapable of still applying the thing that you specialize in because you're just scribbling. Like, what do you do when that shit is like out of style next year?
They're going to go homeless. Yeah. That's like not a good plan in tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, you need to know the other things. Plus, I was going to say, like, you think that black and gray fine lines your style.
Right.
And it's like, maybe it's fucking not. And maybe your style is something completely, maybe it's neo-trad. Yeah. And you're about to be the best fucking neo-trad person. But you stuck with your dumb fucking niche of like this one particular thing. Yeah. It's like, I got no fault on a tattooer who picks to do fine line. Yeah. If they know how to do every fucking thing else.
Well, it should kind of pick you though, like, right? Like the return, it comes back. You do a good tattoo, people want more of that tattoo. Totally. Like, I don't think you get to really pick your style. You don't start skateboarding and say, I want a front side flip like Andrew Reynolds. Just learn how to front side flip. Yeah. And then eventually you might have your way of doing it. Someone go, oh, I love the way you front side flip. You're like, oh, I wish I did it like this.
But Instagram you don't get to pick telling them to pick. Like, it's not like it's an accidental find this thing. It's not like they're exploring the world and then finding a niche. They're finding a niche and not exploring the world. Like they, because Instagram is telling them, because other, they see a tattoo, they see you and they're like, he's a traditional guy.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but you don't know what it took to become the traditional
Absolutely.
guy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can't do everything, you don't know what, and like for me, like,
and the tools it takes to apply that tattoo, you need to learn by doing other tattoos.
Yeah.
It comes full circle.
You don't actually know how to do that style because you don't know how to do other styles.
Right.
And it's like, I fell in love with traditional tattooing, and then I went and saw what I can do in tattooing, and then I was like, hey, you know what I really like? Doing that dumb bullshit I used to do back in the day. And so like now I've been slowly getting back to like how dumb, how simple, how much easier can I make this for myself? But like without that, 8-year transition of just like doing whatever.
But also to make like a tattoo, a very simple tattoo translate, you have to understand all the information. Yeah. To make that really simple face with just a dot and a line look angry, look hot, look sad, you have to really understand how to like, it's not easy to make it look easy is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, any realism tattoo, ask them what the hardest thing to tattoo is. It's going to be traditional. Yeah. Because they understand like there's a right and a wrong, or at least we can all see what a good looking traditional tattoo looks like. And most people who are great at other things can't dumb their stuff down. Luckily, I was dumb in the beginking, and I've tried not to be, and then found out that maybe being dumb and drawing dumb shit is what I'm good at.
I tend to think that like for like being in the traditional umbrella, I tend to really overthink my stuff to where I have to have like strict rules where if I only use this size liner, these colors, then it dictates what I can and can't do in that tattoo.
You love your head, dude.
And I will still do stuff. Yeah. I will still keep adding shit to my tattoo. It's hard to stop. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I struggle with that.
Keep it dumb.
Yeah.
I try not to think as much as possible, dude. Man. I just try and do the thing that I want to do.
I put so much thought in these dumb tattoos.
I know. I could tell, dude. Like, I could tell you put a lot of thought into a lot of things. You put a lot of thought into everything.
That's pretty real.
I only know you from today, so what do I really know? But I can tell.
No, but like you can get a pretty good grasp. I'm not holding back much. It's pretty easy to get to know me, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. That's a good observation.
I don't think it's actually a real good observation. I think it's pretty on the surface, dude. Yeah.
No, I am in my head a lot like that. So then tell me, how does Mexico happen?
So I knew I hated the way I was tattooing.
Yeah.
And part of it was like, I'm relying on walk-ins and I'm relying on this business to just keep going and doing it my own, like.
You feel like you can't get ahead.
Oh, I for sure couldn't get ahead. Right. And, maybe in hindsight, I could have done other things differently to get ahead. But I was just like, I don't want to do this. And I will always have this problem with tattooing. I hate being inside for as long as we're inside. Like, I do not want to be stuck in a tattoo shop the rest of my life. That will fucking literally kill me. And it's just literally like being indoors for so long gets me stressed out. Yeah. And like doing it for so long and relying on it and needing to be inside and never leaving the shop and all these different things.
It does become like a literal, not just a lifestyle, but like a way of life. And if you don't have the clientele, the only way you're going to win is by being there nonstop. Yeah. Because if they're not coming to you, you're waiting for them. And if you want more, you got to wait for more. Totally. And so the tattooer that wins is the one that works there the longest, puts in the most hours.
Power, dude.
Yes.
They could sit their fucking ass down and do the goddamn job. And for me, I was doing that job and I hated it by the end of it.
I get that.
So I just knew that I wanted to pursue something else. And I think I also hated having a boss. Like my boss, Sam Phillips, fucking amazing, rad motherfucker. I hated having him as a boss for no reason other than the fact that he was technically my boss. Right. And I think it took a long time for me to understand, like, hey, bro, you just do not like that position of being underneath someone. So I knew I wanted to pursue it. I knew I loved YouTube. I knew that if I tried YouTube, I could eventually make tattoo content. So we were like, hey, we got this amount of money. Let's go down south and we're going to figure this out. And because I need to change. I just can't work at tattoo shops. And luckily I have the most amazing girlfriend who's like.
So you took some time from tattooing to like explore that?
We were there for the first year and I probably tattooed every 2 months for about 10, 15 days. And then I would come back home. And like it was gonna say I have an amazing girlfriend who like really was. She understood where I was coming from. She knew I was tired of the position we were in, and she was willing to take this massive risk with me to like go down and see if I could try and figure out a new way of working and living. And so we went down, and then started kind of piecing it together.
What year was this?
Was right after COVID.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a big symbolism of change and literally for everyone.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they shut down our beaches in San Diego. And I was like, fuck this, dude. You do not get to shut down a beach. Yeah. And so I was like, no, let's. And we'd gone to Mexico a handful of times. I grew up going down to Mexico when I was a kid. I always knew Mexico was just like, I just thought of it as like, I'm going to retire there someday. Yeah. And then COVID was like, why don't we?
I'm retiring today.
Like whatever life I was living pretty much ended at that point. And so we tried just to figure things out. And I always loved YouTube. And so I was just like, I'm going to try and pursue this thing.
So what were your first videos down there?
They were about money.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't about tattooing because I love tattooing, but I knew
like this is what you can get with this many pesos, or how would you do it?
No. It was had nothing to do with Mexico, or maybe it did. I had some, but like right before COVID hit, I started talking about money on YouTube, like just like this is how much money I've saved, this is how much I've invested, and just like little things like that.
Are these still up?
No, fuck no.
Do you have them just like not listed?
Oh yeah. I can watch them, but they're not like. I just knew I didn't want to talk about tattooing because at that time I fucking hated tattooing, and I was just kind of like I need to find something, and I also knew that if I was going to talk about tattooing, I wasn't qualified on the YouTube side to be talking about it.
Do you think also it was just kind of hard to like have all your value wrapped up in this one thing? Like I could do other things. I'm not just this one thing. Like
I think for sure at some points there's that because I guess I'd probably been feeling trapped by tattooing, and the last thing I wanted to do was go talk about that. And then I did want to feel like I do not need.
I can do other things.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about money for a while. I just was doing whatever I could to learn about YouTube. And then I started talking. I think the first video I ever had to go like viral or in any way was one about NFTs. And
really?
So I made one about like, this is how you make an NFT. Nothing like I wasn't shilling them or fucking doing anything shady or anything. Just this is how you do it. And it got 40,000 views.
Oh shit. That's pretty good.
It took about a year. Yeah. And I was like, oh fuck, there's something.
But you see every week there's a couple thousand more. This just keeps going.
Yeah, it was like really, and compared to 200 views, I was like, oh shit, there's like actually a way of doing this. And then I started doing like vloggy stuff. Like I'd go fishing, and those videos you could still watch.
That's cool.
They're just deep down there.
Yeah.
And then when I was working at a shop in the town I work in now, it's called Sayulita, and we just had a falling out, and so I was like, finally, this is my time to like go open up my shop. And once we opened up the shop, I was like, there's no way I'm opening up a shop without starting the YouTube. Like they were gonna go hand in hand. And honestly, it was more just like I need a space to film and do this. Might as well make it a tattoo shop because this is something I know how to do. And so we just did.
So you didn't make like a YouTube video about like specifically for tattoo until you had that shop?
Yeah.
And it was a way to try to like funnel business to the shop?
No,
like
not
promoting
so much.
it kind of?
It was, I just loved YouTube. So it's like, how can I make YouTube videos? I know this thing about fucking tattooing. It's like it's who we are at the end of the day. So I was like, I'm just going to go wild and see what happens. And now, I mean, like, now I have a much more, I have a reason for making YouTube videos, at least something that I like, I want tattooing to be better tomorrow than, it is today. Yeah. And so I have that goal in mind, which is a real abstract goal that I'm never going to achieve, but it keeps me doing the thing, every day.
So what's your work-life balance like being down there? Like, do you have more freedom? Do you have like a more flexible schedule? Do you like open the shop up a little later so you can go out to the ocean? What's your life look like?
I've built such a good team there that they run stuff. You know, like I do not need to be there. I should be there. You know, like if I really want it run in the way I want it to. But I got a business partner who's amazing. I got tattooers now who were my apprentices who are amazing, and they're amazing tattooers, and they're crushing it every day. So like they know that I'm going to be in and out of the shop filming and tattooing if I need to tattoo. So I'm doing that all day long. I work, I started at 11, I end at 6. And
that's a good day. It's a full day.
Weekends I have off. I don't fucking touch tattooing, or I don't touch YouTube.
Oh, shit.
I enjoy my life. I play with my dogs. I hang out with my wonderful girlfriend, and it's a fucking good life.
What was the decision like to take on apprentices? Was that something that just kind of happened? Was that like something that needed to happen, like to be able to get people to work in the shop? Or was that, how does that happen?
One, it's impossible to make someone or ask someone to move down to Mexico, right? Like,
especially on a new thing, like, hey, I'm trying this out.
Totally.
Trust me.
Totally. And
maybe now would be easier.
Luckily, I'd been at a shop that I knew the potential of the area, and I knew the potential of the shop.
You already sold on, but how do you sell someone else? Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't, and you're going to take one, you got to fucking move to Mexico. Yeah. Like that's everyone's dream, but it ain't, you're not doing it. Like you think you want to do it, but no one's going to do it. Right. And so that's a hard thing. And then if they are a tattooer and they live in America, they probably have fucking credit cards. They probably have like debt out here that they're never going to be able to make up in Mexico, because you are taking some hit. For sure. Know? Maybe you're not paying as much to live down there, but you're not making as much either. Yeah.
After a while, like you're ahead at first, but if you're down there long enough, you become local enough, you kind of have to stay. Like, unless you have money coming from outside the country, totally, you're going to be stuck in that country.
Yeah, for sure. And then the apprentices that, I have Pepe, Jojo, and Coco. I give them all fucking nicknames, so they all sound dumb as shit. But
they sound like pet names.
Yeah, they are. I try to keep them real, real dumb. But Pepe came to me. Pepe and Jojo were already tattooing. They're just doing shitty fucking tattoos. Right, so yeah. It was pretty easy to just be like, let's get you on the right path. And then Coco, who's the last one, who I'll never have another one after him. I have 3 apprentices. 2 of them one's from Argentina, one's from South Africa. I was like, I want an American as someone who can live on in America maybe someday. So it was just like, yeah, why not do it with him? And I enjoy them, and they're all fucking amazing. And
that's cool.
They hustle hard. They work, they crush it, and they want to be tattooers. Yeah. And they're not, I know a lot of people, some people will be like, oh, you have 3 fucking apprentices? Like that's, like you're.
It can happen though.
You're taking on, you're taking from the place you're from or whatever. And it's like, I'm not creating tattooers in fucking Orange County. We don't need more tattooers in Orange County. I would never have a fucking apprentice here.
Well, is there a lot of tattooers in that town or where you're at, or no?
Sure. But nothing that I mean, my tattooers are better. Right. And my tattooers are younger. And they've been tattooing for less time. So they care more. They want to be tattooers.
Is competition stiff? Is it weird? How are the other shops, and how's that dynamic in town?
No, I mean, there's a couple good shops. I got a guy named Nose who owns a shop. I actually really like that guy. Yeah. He's like a super cool dude. He's our sister shop. If we're too busy, we'll send people there. That's cool. And it's a small town. And then there's other shops, but they're, they're different. Yeah. They run on their own schedule. Do you try to,
with your tattoo shop, do you have a goal to make it a style of shop, or is it just a street shop? What kind of shop do you run?
It's just a shop. First, I want it to look smashed out in tattoo flash. I really don't care. I really care that
the demand's not even there for that. You might be forcing something in the air that's not even needed, right?
Yeah, and for us, it's more like, it's just for my kids to be like, look, this is a cool shop. I want to give them the American experience as much as I possibly can in Mexico. So having a smashed out shop in flash is just cool to me, because I'm a fucking dumb American. I want that for them too. And I want, one day Pepe's going to go back to Argentina. One day Jojo's going to go back to South Africa or the UK or wherever she wants to go. And I want them to take little bit,
little piece of that,
a little piece of the things that I love in tattooing, which is all this like fucking American traditional shit. I want them to take it home to wherever they're from, and you know, so yeah, they're amazing. I enjoy them.
How much like so you move down there and you make YouTube a priority, and you're like, I'm opening my shop, I'm doing my thing, I'm getting it, like, and now you're living the dream. How much of that do you get in return? Like, are people coming to you for traditional tattoos?
No.
So then how was the YouTube channel ever need to begin with? I mean, like,
what's up?
What did the YouTube channel do for you and your shop? Like,
oh, it doesn't.
Was it more of just a mental thing? Like,
it doesn't gain, like the shop doesn't gain anything from my YouTube.
Right.
Except for like when we need to spend money that isn't there. And when I need, you know, like we just moved locations to a new shop. So it's like, you know, obviously I'm paying for that. And obviously YouTube's paying for that in some way.
That's
you know?
cool.
Like,
okay.
So
yeah.
it just like it was giving me a buffer to do the things that I want to do in that shop. But like, yeah, no one knows who I am or gives a shit who I am.
That's what I was curious about, because I feel like I didn't see how those correlated. Like, I open a shop, so I need to do this YouTube thing.
No, they weren't correlated.
Yeah.
They were just like, if anything, it was just to give me the space to do it in a shop, like to have like a, you know, studio. So they weren't correlated to be like, this is for that. It was just like, these two things are going to happen.
Yeah.
How am I going to make them happen?
How often are you traveling the States for work?
So after this trip, I will fucking probably never, ever again.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean,
never an apprentice, never back to this.
I just
you're gonna watch back on this and laugh.
To work, you know, like I've been going back and forth every 3 months or 2 months or 1 month for the last 5 years.
Damn.
And I'm just like done with that. I'm so tired. Especially this last stint we had. Like,
you've been on the road for a bit this time, a couple months, you said, right?
Yeah, it's been about 3 months. I haven't been like on the road. Like I keep going back home, you know?
Okay.
But like I've been like
every month leaving.
I mean, for the last 3 months, I've had like 6 trips.
That's a lot.
And things going on. So just a lot, you know, mostly just to fund this shop that opened up, like, you know, just to move the shop.
Wow.
So it was an interesting time. Plus some like family things happened,
right?
Like nothing crazy, but just like things were happening, all got condensed down into like this 3 month period.
Yeah.
So like right now I probably will, you know, I cannot, there's no fucking way in a million years.
Do you think what do you give it realistic? Like maybe a year, like the rest of this year, maybe, like staying down there, chilling. All right, join the new shop.
I think I enjoy YouTube more than I enjoy coming and working like this.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just, instead of planning trips, I'll just push more into YouTube.
Yeah.
And then do more, you know, just tattooing, bringing people to get tattooed by me there who want my style, and then my kids will do all the walk-ins.
Yeah.
That they're capable of doing, and I'll do the fucking hard shit. I'll do the space sleeve. I'll do the you know, geometrical bullshit. I'll do the fine line floral shit.
Yeah.
But
do you find yourself like banging out so much of the same content? Do you grow, like, have you gotten like bored of that, like, of that style, of that format per se?
No, not at all. I love the cultural part of tattooing as much as I love the act of tattooing.
Right.
So it's like, it's really fun for me to like deep dive, to think about those concepts and like, where are my actual values in tattooing? So no, I never get bored of that. I love backroom talk. Like, you want to talk shit about tattooing? Like, I am the guy. I will listen. I will hear your fucking opinion, and I will like really think about it.
What blowback have you gotten from like hot takes and like, because I mean the thing is, when you're making that hot take or blah blah blah, it's just a thing you just said. But now it's in a video forever, and it's like you may have not meant so much by it, but then may hurt someone's feelings. Like, what's that like?
That. I don't care about it.
Have you ever been like, ooh man, maybe I didn't see it that way?
No.
Really?
No, not really. I mean, like I really think. I mean, one, I spend a lot of time thinking about what is my actual opinion about this subject.
That's fair.
So like everything I go into, I just am telling you what I think at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's because I spent fucking forever thinking about it.
And it's not like a live stream. Like if you really felt weird about the thing, you could just chop it before it happens.
Yeah, but I would never chop it.
Yeah.
Like we do chop things, but it's maybe because it's clunky or something like that. It's not because my take is almost never the problem. And even there's been time where my editor's like, hey, I know that you're being too nice. Like fucking be honest. Like stop with the niceties. Stop with like all of it and just say what your fucking opinion is.
Yeah.
Because like, and that's what all, you know, that's what they want. They're not here for me to baby them through this thing. And they're definitely not here for me to say like, I hope this doesn't hurt their feelings. And it's like, who gives a shit? You're going to survive. They're going to survive whatever I say about them. It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think it's like it's that honesty, no matter how harsh that feels like authenticity, and people want to hear like that hot take because they're not gonna get it anywhere else, right?
It's not even a hot take. It's just your opinion. Like we have strong opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
Just fucking say the damn thing. You know, like it's like we add so much value to what we say, and we think that we're like so much more important than what we actually are. It's like I'm just saying what I believe. That hurts your feelings. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
You will survive.
Yeah.
None of us are going to die from this.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary. Seeing your face on a thumbnail, seeing like this guy who you don't know who says this fucking thing, you put it on the internet. I'm sorry. We're playing this game. You put it on the internet.
Yeah.
You can do the same to me back. I do not fucking care.
Yeah.
And I will. I will sit in my room and I'll be like, for 2 minutes. I'll see my face. I'll see your opinion about me. And I'll be like, And 2 minutes later, I'll be like, why the fuck do I care?
Have you ever, is there other like, I mean, let me take my keys off and make a noise real quick. Have you ever, has there been any other tattooers making similar content in your lane that there's been like an internet beef or anything exciting about?
If there has been, I didn't see it.
Didn't catch it, yeah.
There's been non-tattooers who do stuff, and I'm there was one video that was like, overrated, and it was my face and it was all my tattoos, and they went like tattoo for tattoo on why I suck, and I was like, bro, I feel the same way dude. Don't worry. Actually, I was like super fucking bummed because like the tattoos that he said were like good. I was like, come on. That's the tattoo you go hard in.
That's kind of exciting though. It's like oh shit, like it's creating a buzz. Like,
dude, me and my old lady like sat and watched those videos and fucking cracked up.
That's funny.
Like I don't care. You don't. I'm not my tattoos. I am just a fucking human being.
Yeah.
And this is just something I fucking do. And if you don't like it, like I'm not doing it for you anyways. Yeah. I'm not doing tattoos for you. I'm doing it for that 1 out of a million. Right. I do not care about the million. I care about the 1 in a million. And if they like it, I'm the guy for them. Yeah. And if I'm not, like, fucking kick rocks. I don't need who gives a shit? You don't like my tattoos? That's like, like. No one likes our tattoos. 90% of the people that went to high school with you think you do dumb looking tattoos.
For sure. Yeah, they're not getting tattooed. You can't worry about the like. I worry about the people that are like consuming my thing, not the like. I'm not gonna make a fan of someone who's not a fan. I'm not gonna make someone like me who doesn't like me. Like I don't really care about the people who don't like watching my shit because they're busy not watching my shit. Yeah. So I'm just gonna make the shit that I want to make for the people that want to watch it. You know.
And even the people that watch it, it's like I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like, it's super cool.
Yeah.
But like I cannot be concerned with your opinion on this thing or whatever, because like it will consume me and it will eat me alive. And so if I want to continue doing this thing, I cannot care about their opinion either. Like I think
you having that editor is the big cheat code to like separate stuff. Cause like how could I not think about it when I like work all day, film all day, edit all night, put it out in the morning. Like I'm doing so many jobs at once, and you've been able to kind of like build a team where you're able to free yourself to a certain extent. Yeah. So you can just kind of make the thing, put it away. I think that is.
I do have to watch it. Like I do watch it before I put it out. Anything that I.
We talk about consuming you or social media consuming you. Like if you didn't have that, then you would.
Oh yeah.
Burn out.
About that for sure. Yeah. I mean, it would be impossible. Like the amount of content we make, it would be impossible for me to do by myself. There's just no fucking way. and running a business and doing,
Because I've always run into that when I started doing daily stuff. It's like something's got to give. And it always comes down to like, well, the more videos I make, the busier I get tattooing. The more tattoos I make, less time I have to make videos.
Yeah.
And then it's like, one thing I was fucking up with is that the videos were cutting into my me time or my home time. So I'm not really logging those hours as work.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sleeping. And it's like, I don't know. It's always been a tricky thing where I've always had to pick tattooing. It's always came back to tattooing.
Totally.
And so it's always been this like thing, like, why aren't you busy making videos? Like, 'cause I'm too busy making tattoos.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to give up something.
Yes.
Nothing can just keep going. You have to, like, I will never be the best version of a tattooer I can be. Right. That is just 100%. Like, I have to give that up. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be the greatest tattooer I can be. Yeah. I'm going to do something else. Like, I'm going to be the best tattooer who also makes a fuck ton of YouTube videos. Yeah. Like, and I'm so okay with that. Like, and it doesn't mean that I don't love tattooing or any bullshit like that. Right. It just means that I have interests that are different in tattooing. Like tattooers, we want to fucking live and die by tattooing. We want to die in the fucking chair of tattooing. Yeah. I'm not that fucking guy. I do not want to die in the chair of a tattoo shop. I want to do something that I find interesting.
Man, I don't even realize it. Like, I think I can log a lot of hours in a tattoo shop. I get fixated. Like, when I'm tattooing, I can tattoo and like not get up and piss, not look out the window. It's the only thing that I can actually fixate on for that amount of time without tattooing, looking at my phone, looking at the road, heard a bird, piece of graffiti. That's a cool curb. Like, I'm constantly, and tattooing is the only thing that's been able to like make me get in like that flow state. Mm-hmm. And I feel like tattooers are addicted to tattooing. I think they're addicted to that escape, that flow state. And so,
but I find that everywhere, dude.
Yeah, really.
Like, it's not, I mean,
I only find it in tattooing. I can find it a little bit in like someone's painting Flash, or sometimes sometimes editing a video, but it takes a lot to get there.
Why? Why is it only tattooing? What could it what's different about tattooing other than our like?
Okay, I know what it is. It's the pressure of the deadline.
Yeah.
If I have time to waste, I will waste all of the time.
Yeah.
But if I'm with you right now and you're paying me $300 and I have another appointment at 3 p.m., it's like, boom, nose of the grindstone. You know, I think that money's a motivator.
I was going to go with the money.
Yeah.
Like,
the Google Calendar is a pressure. Having that time is a pressure.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, like, if I don't need to do something, like, if I have time to waste, I will waste all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
But if I don't, then I'll make the most of it.
Like you.
You don't think so?
I mean, I can't say how.
Yeah.
I just met you.
Right.
But that does not strike me as you.
Yeah.
Like, there's things that you did today that I'm like, I wouldn't do that.
But like, all right, good example. I have an example right now. Here's my perspective. Yeah. So we get to the shop, we're hanging out, and like, I pack some orders, take my sweet ass time. We're hanging out, we're bullshitting. Pump's gonna be here, and I'm like, I get kind of set up, and it's like I'm kind of lollygagging. Then boom, I'm at work.
Yeah.
And then Isaac comes in. All right, Isaac's more of a friend.
Yeah.
Then he is a client. He does pay me for tattoos, but it's like, I see him all the time. Okay, so I kind of lollygag on him. Like, I have the time. I'm wasting the time. I'm taking the time. I spend a few hours to tattoo him for 1 hour.
You think a lot.
But
you think a lot, dude.
Yeah? All right, give me your perspective.
I saw you today.
Yeah.
There's no part of what you did today that was lollygagging at fucking all. You were just doing your job.
Oh, shit.
Like, there's no fucking way that, like, again, I do not know you.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you think that you were logging, or there's no way that I, as an outsider, would look at what you were doing and be like, he was lollygagging.
I think I'm such a fucking time waster.
Because you have so much shit going on. You have a fucking surplus of shit going on. That is for sure.
See, I didn't think anyone knew that. I thought that was on my fucking head. Because my wife, she'll be like, oh man, it took you that long? And I'm like, well, yeah, like I finished the tattoo, but then I was explaining aftercare, but then I was like bandaging up, but I also had to take photos before that. So yeah, I finished tattoo, about to do this, about to do that. And like in my head, there's so many things happening. I'm only getting so much done. And I feel like I'm a fucking slacker. I feel like I'm like a lazy slacker, and then
What
everyone
if
else.
you were a lazy slacker? What would be the worst part of that, dude?
I don't know.
Or maybe you'd get more done.
But people assume like, whoa, you do so much. You have this and you have that and you have this and you have that. And like, there is so much shit
I would
that I
argue
don't
that
get done.
if you slacked off more, you probably get more done.
Oh.
I think that you're doing shit, which is great. Like that shit's important.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what about the big? Remember that like fucking big goal, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that is what we're going for.
Yeah.
If that is what we actually want, like maybe you should just fucking
Work towards that.
or just fuck off a little more,
Yeah.
and then like actually go towards the goal rather than doing like a million fucking things.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I definitely find like for me, like if I have 2 things to get done, I might slack it and maybe get neither done or only get 1 done. But if I have 10 things I need to do, like I'm going to fuck up and fail and only get 4 things done. But getting 4 things done out of 10 is better than getting none done out of 2. So I take on way more than I can handle because I know I don't have like, I don't know, like.
and you still think you're slacking.
I do.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing a ton. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
More than it's possible for me to achieve. I know this. Yeah.
yeah, and definitely more than you could do well.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the I mean, it's not a problem. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But that's the problem in like all of it is like you can do fucking 4 crappy things, but like you really just had to do 1 good one, and that would be like more important than, you know, maybe it's more important. And like I get that we all get consumed by like doing shit, but it's like we're wasting a fuck ton of time. We're fucking off by doing all this other stuff instead of just focusing on the place that we want to get to.
Yeah.
You know? And like I think that you know, I took a fucking year off. Like I was tattooing and I was trying to figure things out, and that's what I came down to like.
And having that slower pace allows you to have that perspective. Like,
well, it's not about the slower pace. It's about the people that we surround ourselves by. And it's like, I come here and I feel anxious as fuck. Like people are like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, what's the point in doing any of that?
That makes sense.
What the fuck is the point of doing any of this shit? Like, why are we wasting our time doing fuck all, you know, instead of just taking more time chilling? And like, don't get me wrong, like I do a fuck ton of shit. Like seeing your schedule today reminds me of my schedule at home.
Right.
But when things aren't in a crazy state, I try and like get down to what I have to do, what I can do, and then I just keep doing that.
So how do you think to sustain what you have going in Sayulita, that's how I say it, you kind of have to come here to make the money to take it back there. The goal is for YouTube to get up there to where you kind of can kick back and enjoy it a little bit more.
Well, I would.
Because it seems like you're working a lot to enjoy that down there.
I think that's like right now that's what's currently happening. But that's not how the last year has gone. You know.
That's just the big move.
This is just this period in my life where I knew that this was going to be really hard and we are going to have to do a lot of shit that like just to make all these other things happen. Where most of the time, I always tell people I'm the busiest I've ever been and I got nothing to do. Like, you know, like I really only got to film and do a tattoo and post that, and then I go home and then I make some fucking homemade ramen or whatever dumb fucking thing I do. You know, it's like I really don't. You know, I try and minimize how much I have to do. Yeah. And luckily, the team fucking helps me by doing what they do, what I've trained them to do. Fortunately.
Are you grateful for like the big event that happened in the world that led you to go there? Like, where would you be if you didn't have this big change and you were still in Vista? You think you'd be burnt out? You think you'd still be tattooing? What would be next?
I mean, for my own ego's sake, I'd love to say that I would make that transition before it became a problem. But
you need that push.
For sure.
Right.
So I'm as grateful as as I'm grateful for anything, but you know, like, it was an interesting time. I think I was just also at the end of it too. Like 2 months before COVID happened, I bought my camera. You know, it's still the same camera. I have one camera. I've used that camera for every video I've ever made.
Yeah.
But I think I was at the end of it anyways. I had to figure something else out. And then COVID happened, and yes, I'm grateful for it, but it was probably going to happen too.
Yeah.
Or some bad thing was going to happen in my life. I was going to lose my girlfriend because I was being a fucking idiot, or, any number
Working
of things.
too much or
Working
whatever.
too much and not putting enough time in the important shit and not, being there.
That's amazing that you've been able to find that balance. And like you said, many people talk about big aspirations of maybe one day moving or doing this or doing that, but they're just too stuck in their routine or whatever they got going.
They just need to wait for the next COVID, dude.
Yeah.
And then make the move. Dude. Just fucking eat some bats from China, dude. Man. And we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
No, I think that, like, I'm as fortunate with that as possible. And then if there's anything I learned from any of it, it's, get lucky.
What do you think your future plans are with like your content? Like any future ideas, any goals?
Yeah, I definitely love YouTube. So like I love tattoo content. And I don't think there's enough of it, and I don't think there's enough people who make good and interesting stuff. So we're gonna be pushing that until the wheels fall off. And we'll be changing and playing with different things as much.
Do you think there's really like a lack of it?
Yeah, I think the people that do it are trash at it for the most part. And I mean, like, with the exception of a handful of people.
Right.
And I get why, because it's like you do have to sacrifice. Like I said, I will never be the best version of a tattooer.
Yeah.
To me, that's a hard thing as a tattooer.
But you only have your perspective is the only thing you can offer anyways. So you could just keep doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah. But I mean, as a tattooer, we all want to be the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
So can you sacrifice that to make the content? And then like, can you make the business of the content work for your life and whatever, because the business part of it is hard, as I'm sure you know and understand. Is like, this is at a certain point can be time wasting if you're not making enough money.
Yes. Yeah.
We can make more money as tattooers if you're not doing it right. So yeah, I just don't think that there's enough. And I also don't think that that's going to be filled by, I watch every piece of tattoo content out there, and I'm never impressed by any of it, except with the exception of a handful of people who are already doing it well.
Right. Yeah.
But like, and not that I'm not impressed by the people or whatever. It's just like, you got to make YouTube. You're making YouTube videos. Make fucking YouTube videos. Make something that people will want to watch. And if they're not watching it, it's not good. Like,
yeah,
it's a YouTube video.
It's the
audience
audience decides ultimately. Like the views are there, or they're not. They're consistent or not.
And you could. Yeah. Anyone can change the content to be good.
Right.
So, long term, it's just like, I want to keep doing this. I'd like to go in different directions. I'd like to make my, like, I've done a real good job of tearing down certain things. I would like to build some more things up, but also like, those things come in time. We need the money to make sure that we do these things. And, but then I have like other dreams of content. I just like making videos, and I like talking about subjects that are difficult to talk about. So
yeah, that's interesting here. You said you like had like talking about NFTs and money, and like, that's exciting. I didn't know any of that about you. Yeah.
Dude, I was telling this story today. It's like, this is kind of a sidetrack, but
yeah.
At one point we were making videos that were like almost diary entries.
Really?
They were so painful.
What?
So hard to make. like what's the deepest, hardest subject you want to talk about? Like I don't know, whatever it is, like how you perceive masculinity and how you're not living up to that. Whatever hard, different, and that was so fucking painful and so hard.
Do you think it didn't take off just because you didn't do enough of it?
No, I just think it was very like, I didn't care about that. It was just, how hard of a thing can I make it?
Yeah.
And then anything else I talk about is so easy. It's like, we want to talk about tattooing? Like, we'll talk some shit. Because that hard thing that I had that diary entry that was lame as shit that I had to go watch and edit and listen to is so much easier than talking about tattoo shit. Or, but I just enjoy going out, talking about hard subjects, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But we'll probably push that, and then I really like doing these like podcast where it's just me. I pick 5 different topics that I'm interested in, and we're gonna, and then I'm gonna say some shit about that.
Have you already made stuff like that?
I've made like probably about 10 videos like that.
That's great.
And I've made other videos on that same platform as like different, like how can I talk shit about different things?
I thought about making like a solo episode of Unite Win podcast, but man, that's hard.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't, dog.
Whenever I've want to do something like that, I'd just go live.
Yeah.
And then I could talk about the thing, and then like if I read something in the chat, like I'll just go off, and they're kind of giving me like the little things they're saying are allowing me to kind of free flow my conversation in a direction. But just by myself, I feel like I'm just like going nowhere. The wheels are just turning.
I definitely, I shouldn't have said that. Like, no, it's not hard. It is hard, but it's also like, if it's not good, don't do anything with it.
Well, and also you said you put down 5 subjects, so you have a direction.
I have a direction. I have a goal. I'm gonna lollygag my way through them, and I'm gonna think about the concepts, and then I'm gonna get there. But like it is hard, but it's like it's only hard because I haven't done it enough, and it'll get easier, and it'll become more entertaining and better.
So would you like your podcast to be mainly that sustainable, you doing it yourself, or do you want to have more guests on? Or
where I live, it's like
hard to get people.
Aren't a thing,
right?
So yeah, no, it'll at least until I move here or whatever. If I ever fucking move back here, it will just be me.
Is there a sustainable amount of like traffic to where you can kind of build your shop up and use your platform to get guest artists from other places to come to your shop? Could they get booked out? Is that a possibility?
No, it doesn't work like that. Like
it's more so just walk-ins.
Just walk-ins.
Right.
I want this palm tree. I want this taco. I want this cerveza.
Right.
Like,
okay.
It's nothing else. And like for, we get guest artists wanting to contact us, and I'm like, yeah, but like
it could be hit, it could be miss.
Yeah, but even then it's like are you really adding anything? Unfortunately, it's like, are you adding anything to the scenario? Because like I got people who
they're just taking the walk-ins that they're not bringing anything new. They're not bringing in clients. No one's coming to get tattooed.
No one gives a fuck about who they are, and I know that because no one gives a fuck who I am either. Like it's just not what we're doing. You're doing the walk-in tat. You're having the fucking fun with a client who just got off the beach and is excited to do it. So it's like I always would, everyone wants to have the cool guy shop that people want to go to and shit like that. I don't know if it's ever going to be my shop.
Right.
And if it's
maybe just not in that town, at least,
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care about that. I care that the kids that are there and the tatters that are there are going to feed themselves and fucking make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And, provide a good tattoo.
It's cool you have that perspective that you get what it is,
Yeah, dude. I mean, I try and have a real grounded, who I am as a tattooer is who I am as a tattooer. It's like, it ain't nothing much more than that.
Right.
And my tattoo shop is just a tattoo shop. It ain't going to be the cool guy shop. It ain't going to be anything other than what it is. At least I hope, It's just,
how did you come up with the name of the tattoo shop?
It's on Revolution Street.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of like a sounded cool generic name. I didn't realize that's cool.
Yeah, there's one main street called Revolution, but we took out the C, and because
that makes me like it more. I like that now.
Yeah, no, I know people are always like Revolution, and I'm like, yeah, it's because it's the name of the street.
You're like Ja,
but I'm not gonna fucking tell you that. Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm not.
That's cool. I like a blatantly local name or a landmark or a street or a city.
And it just happened to be such a fucking,
that's cool.
Revolution is such like a gnarly name kind of sounding, it's kind of goofy.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, it's the name of the street. It's all good.
I thought because it's just like a walk-in shop, it's like, oh, this seems like just like the name for just like a walk-in shop. I didn't know the reason, I didn't think too much into it, I guess.
Totally. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was name of the shop. I hate naming shit.
Yeah.
I try, like I said, dude, I try and think as little as possible. I do a pretty good job.
Do you guys have this is a dumb question. Do you guys have like Yelp, shop phone, stuff like that? Or is it just like show up?
We have a WhatsApp,
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
But I don't know if anyone's answered it
in
a while,
Wow.
We have an Instagram and we have a Google. And that's essentially it. And we have a massive sign that's,
That's cool.
That's huge.
So we should get rid of all that stuff. Like my buddy Matt, when you call his shop phone, you'll never get an answer.
Yep.
Go straight to voicemail.
Yep.
And the voicemail is like, you reach Red Sea Tattoo. We do not do piercings. We do not do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We are open on a walk-in only basis. That means when you get here, if you're the first one, you're the first one leaving the tattoo.
Totally.
He has this whole voicemail thing. And it if you get through it, you got your question answered.
Yeah.
And if you don't get through it, you didn't get through it.
Yeah.
And you show up or you don't. And
Totally.
it works or it doesn't. And it's it's so man, I'm that's the goal. But I don't know. I have all the stupid fucking ways of getting a hold of the shop. But they don't even help. When someone calls, they want a price. We don't even give them the price.
Yeah.
It's just a waste.
Totally.
But.
Yeah, but people, it's such a small town.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
That's why I ask, because maybe you don't need the shop phone.
No.
Maybe it's just open or it's not.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, yeah, and we do have a shop phone. I just don't know that I've ever heard it ring. And if it did, I wasn't answering it. That's for fucking sure.
That's funny.
And it's just that's just not the scenario we're in.
Yeah.
We you walk by, you see the sign, you come in.
Yeah.
We're the best in town.
Yeah.
It's not even we're the nicest in town. We're going to provide you with the best service. It's the easiest fucking shop to find. It's just that.
From what I saw, is it like a walkable street?
Yeah.
So
and
you
it's
could
where
walk?
you buy cocaine, and it's where you buy surfboards. So and it's a surf town.
Yeah.
Every kid, all our clients have bought surfboards that week, or rented a surfboard.
Okay. Yeah.
Or they bought cocaine down the street.
Yeah.
Or right in front of us.
Yeah.
I see coke deals every day. And
Yeah.
I was yeah, dude, that's cool. And so
funny.
our clientele is going to find it because they're either buying drugs or they're buying or renting surfboards. So,
or getting tattooed.
or getting tattooed. But
All three is common.
Realistically, they're buying all of them, dude.
That's
So
good combo.
it's a super cool street. And it's in a super small town. So you're going to walk by my shop and you're going to say oh, that's a fucking massive sign. And then you're gonna.
How do I or someone visit out there? How do you get out there from, say, California? What is the flight? How do you navigate? Where is this town?
You just go to Puerto Vallarta and then take an hour Uber to fucking town. Yeah.
So it's out there. But you just follow the coast because that's also a coastal town as well.
Yeah, for sure. And a drive, it's 3 days, but as a flight, it's 2 hours.
What a difference.
Yeah. Well, you can't drive, it's 24 hours away, but it's not 24 hours like you're going through Utah and shit. You do not drive
just
at night.
squirrely, whining, fucking crazy roads.
It's just it's a highway.
Yeah.
But there's going to be speed bumps on that highway. And you don't drive past night, once
There's always that story. Why does bad happen at night and good happens that day?
Fucking Mexico, dog. Whatever you think can happen is going to happen there. And I don't, I try not to talk bad about Mexico.
There's enough of that. You want to keep it positive.
Totally.
I get it.
But it's still goddamn Mexico. And you do have to be careful. And especially driving.
What about have you had anything wild happen on the drives you've made?
Yeah.
What's the wild story driving through Mexico?
Okay.
At night or day?
Like I said, I'm going to try not to be too much about Mexico because
But for the sake of the segment.
For sure. I'm part Mexican. I'm not Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking white guy in Mexico, and there's a lot of shit that happens in Mexico that I do not understand. That is just I'm a guest in that country, and I will always be a guest in that country. But there is shit that happens, and what would it have been? It would have been right after we opened up the shop. We were driving down an old Ford Ranger, a 99 Ford Ranger, all lifted and shit.
Yeah.
But we bought it out here in goddamn Riverside.
Yeah.
And I was just driving it down. And we were driving through Sonora, which is the first state. You go to Arizona and then you just drive down.
Okay.
And we were in Sonora. And the next morning, we spent the night there. We actually found my little dog the night before.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we were up all night taking care of this dog who's sick and fucking starving to death. And so she kind of made us a little late to the next day. So we were supposed to take off at 4, and instead, because we were all exhausted from taking care of this dog, we take off at 5:30. and we're driving from Sonora. The place is called Hermosillo, and we get to the border of Sinaloa and Sonora, and we're about to go in, and these fucking military dudes stop us, and they're like, "You're not going." And I was like, "What do you mean? This is a highway. We're going to our house in, a state away." And they're like, "You're not going." And I was like, "What's going on?" Whoa. And they were like, "People are dying. Go back." That was all they said, in obviously in Spanish. And he was like, "People are dying. Go back." And so we like went to this town next to us, and I'm like, I have no idea, but I just know he told me people are dying, and they're not letting us go down the highway.
So you like looking up the news? Like, what are you doing?
So we couldn't get any reception. So I like go to the nearest town, which is called Guaymas. And yeah, I like started doing research. I fucking find out that they had just captured El Chapo's son in the state that was like, so if we would have left at 4:00,
yeah,
like we were supposed to, like we'd always done on this drive, we would have been in Culiacan when they captured El Chapo's son. But we were like an hour late because my little angel girl dog, the love of my life, except for her mom, we would have been like right in the middle of it. And so we go back to this place called Guaymas. I'd look up the news. I find out like, okay, El Chapo's son just got captured. They're shooting up the entire town. And they're like, we're not going home. And so like we waited a day. We waited another day. We waited a third day. And then...
Did you just get like a hotel, or what'd you do?
We just got an Airbnb.
Okay.
We were just sitting there. It was cool because we were like on this beach town, just like waiting out the storm to go through. And like, I think it was a Sunday, and they were like, the cartel or whatever is like, you got 24 hours. You got 24 hours to do whatever you need to do in Sinaloa, and we're starting back up on Monday. And so like we woke up super early, I think probably like 12 at night, and we started driving all the way through Sinaloa, and it takes about a day to get through the
Were
state.
you stressing the whole time, or were you I'll be good? Or
the whole time we're driving past like burning trucks, bullet holes, like trucks, like, they're parked up on exit routes, and they're just shot the fuck up, and they're still on fire.
Does that make you like give you this like scared point of view? Like, damn, should we be going back? Does that make you rethink?
We'd been there for like 3 years at that point.
Okay.
Like it's home.
Yeah.
So like I don't care what's happening.
Right.
And I also don't live in Sinaloa, thank God.
Right.
You know, so it's like, it's not my state. I live in a state that's very much not that at all. Even close. And I'm sure that there's a lot of fucking bad things that happen in my state, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, you don't know about, so whatever.
But yeah, so it took us a whole day, and there was thousands and thousands of cars leaving Sinaloa, and we're the only ones going through Sinaloa. And it was pretty scary, like seeing burnt trucks and burnt Honda Civics and bullet holes all over the fucking place. I probably counted at least 50 different burnt trucks and, all that shit. And it was just sad.
To go off of that and to be positive, give me some of like the amazing, beautiful things about Mexico that you love. It's hard after being negative because now that's on your brain. Yeah, but like I don't want to end it there, right?
Every single thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like I have a beautiful fucking life. I have a beautiful existence down there. People are fucking amazing. Everything is so much better than that.
Do you think it's just being a coastal city, people are just more at ease and like people want to be there, people are hyped to be there? Again, it's a destination, like you said, right?
It's funny because like I always tell people, I'm like, for a lot of us it is, it's like this really peaceful place.
Right.
But then for like you meet people who've been there for 30 years and they're just as fucking crotchety.
Really?
They're just the same asshole that they would have been an asshole back in California or Canada or wherever they're from. They just moved to a better place to be an asshole. So it's really like,
it's a matter of perspective. They don't really, they're a little spoiled.
They brought their bullshit from wherever they couldn't hack it, and then they come to a beautiful place and then they still have that bullshit.
Well, whatever you're looking for, you're going to find it. If you're negative, you're going to like find things to bitch about, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But what's good about it, I think Mexico has freedoms that I enjoy, like even simple shit. Like I don't have to fucking pay for parking at a beach. That's like a fucking beautiful thing, like that I could just pull up to a beach and go to the beach, or just like things in that like lane. It's like, it just feels comfortable. I don't have to like, I don't know, worry about the same rules and
A little
things.
easier.
Yeah. And then the people who visit my town are all so fucking excited, and they're on vacation. So they have this like glow about them, and they're just like, so that's kind of cool to like participate in, even though for me, I'm like, this is home.
You're kind of getting people at their best in a way.
100%. And as a tattooer, that's fucking cool, because we, a lot of clients in California and like other states where it's like, they're just getting a tattoo. It's like, they're not.
That's a good point. Like at my shop, we will often be like, oh, so what else you got going on today? And they're like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Like and we forget that this thing is special, because to us, this is just the thing we do.
Thing.
So we think they must have something else going on.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this is the else going on.
I've been waiting fucking months for this. Yeah.
And they're like, no, I just got off work, getting tattooed, blah, blah, blah. But your client might be like, bro, I traveled here from blah, blah, blah. I
saw a turtle for the first time. There was a bunch of whales that I saw on the beach. Like, oh, the weather's so nice. Oh, do you love living here? And I'm always like, yeah. But it's my day-to-day life.
But do you, again, your daily life, do you forget how special it is?
I mean, I'm concentrated on business and fucking YouTube. And so, like, I definitely do, like, forget that I'm in, like, a rad as fuck place. But then the weekends come and I'm like, we're going to go to the beach. You go
to the beach every weekend?
I go to the beach my shop is essentially on the beach.
Yeah.
So it's like I go to the beach every day, but am I going to go, like I sunbathe and chill on the beach at least Saturday and Sunday. And then I go surfing whenever the waves are good. So I'm going surfing once or twice a week if the waves are good. And then going to the beach with my old lady on the weekends. And
damn, that's cool.
It's a good life, dude.
Living the life. It's hard to get that here, like living on the beach. You got to be the people that live on the beach here that can afford to live on the beach. They don't even really go on the beach. It's just a flex that they have the beach.
Never fucking stepped on. They don't know what the fuck is happening at the beach.
Right.
Like their kids do. Their kids like grow up and they go to the beach, and then they have to go to work to be able to afford to be on the beach. But like for us, it's like, And
it's like you go to Laguna and you walk down someone's private beach. There's no one there.
Yeah.
And like these are all houses, and they like pay to live here, and they just look at it from their window.
Yeah. They don't know nothing. They don't care about that. They care about the money it took to get that house. Yeah. They don't care about the fucking actually view or whatever, like what's actually happening.
Right.
They all buy boats. They don't fucking, you go to any dock in all of Southern California, the amount of empty slips because people are using it is like 3. And there's hundreds and hundreds of boats.
Yeah.
They just buy shit. And,
Damn, having a boat would be nice.
I got a buddy who he's got like a small little 21-foot boat, and we go surfing off of it. So like we hit like 10 different surf spots, find the best one. Yeah. And then we go surf that. And, we anchor that boat up. And it's cool.
My cousin, he lives in Mount Shasta, and he has a boat like docked on Mount Shasta, and it's kind of like a lottery system on like who can even like have a boat there, because there's only so many places to park your boat. And me and Yessie went to go visit, and we were gonna go out in the boat, and it was like his lunch break or whatever, and we're like, where's the boat at? He's like, oh, it's down there. And then we go and like we walk over, and there's his boat.
Yeah.
And we get on the boat, and we're on the fucking lake, and there's no one else on the lake, and it's just like a Tuesday, and I'm like, you could just like have a boat.
Yeah. Just enjoy life.
Yeah, so tight.
Yeah, but boats are trash. Don't ever buy one. They're holes in the ocean that you throw your money into. I grew up fishing my whole life, and that's
well, if it's your thing and you're out using it,
you better make it your thing, dude. You better be on the water constantly.
Eye patch.
Yeah, dude. Like you're not allowed to be on land if you want to have a boat.
Yeah,
because you're not using it enough. Because you're paying fucking endless amounts of money every year. My dad is a boat guy, and he loves fixing a boat as much as he loves using a boat. So it was like the perfect combination.
Yeah,
I'm not that guy. I am never gonna own a boat because I do not want to fix it.
Well, you also have to you kind of like, this can maybe affects the way I think of things, but you have to, when you make a decision, any decision, business decision, whatever, you have to like be okay with it. Borderline, I would say, love it at its worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if the worst case scenario is not a scenario you're okay with, then it's the wrong scenario.
If you're thinking about business like that, that's a bad business, dog. Love it at its worst. What's its worst? Like, what's the worst?
Well, the worst can be great.
It, dude.
Oh, I guess so. I never thought about that. But I got this advice from a friend, and I was gonna go into business with another friend, and we were talking about the scenarios and how we can do well together. And he kind of broke it down like, okay, what are all the worst case scenarios that can happen? You guys got to make agreements on all those worst case scenarios, be okay with all these scenarios before you ever talk about the projected outcome of good.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, like for me, for example, like going out of business, that's a good one. I'll say that.
That's the worst. Dude.
No. We'll take this. Well, my beginning of my story was that, right? I was like sleeping on a friend's couch. And I was riding 20 miles one way to go to my apprenticeship on my bicycle. Yeah. I was dumpster diving and stealing all my food. And I loved it. Yeah. That was someone's nightmare. Yeah. Was my dream. Like going to Cardenas and pulling avocados out of the dumpster and then going and getting the stale like bolias, like bread or whatever, and making avocado toast and riding my bike through the night with my friends. Like that was sick, you know?
Do you want to go back to it?
Honestly, I mean, it's not bad. It's crazy, not bad. Bro. It's not bad, but it's all perspective. Like I think that I've been happy with so little. Yeah. And the more that I've acquired, it doesn't bring more happiness, just more stuff. Yeah. And even when me and Yessie hit the road full time in the bus, like, you know, I didn't have all of these little things and I didn't miss any of these little things. If I have more space, I'll fill more space. But does that fill like my soul or make me more happy? No, it's just more stuff. It's more distractions, you know? Totally. So I don't know. I think having less like, I guess what I'm getting at is that I didn't start tattooing to be successful or to make money. I started making tattoos because I wanted to make tattoos. Yeah. And now I look at my perspective of like, well, I can always make tattoos. Anywhere I go, I can still make tattoos. Totally. So it's like, you know, I'd rather be homeless and tattooing than being homeless and not tattooing. Yeah. I don't know. It's not bad.
Definitely differ on you on that. Yeah. I'm like, no, dude, I'd rather not be homeless. You know, and I feel like, you know, there's been plenty of times in my life where I've been like so close to being homeless.
I'm just saying I love it at its worst. Yeah. So it can only be better. Yeah. You know? Totally. And I like that I have this perspective of having like really obtainable, low reaching goals. Yeah. To where like now I've achieved all my dreams. Yeah. And then some. Totally. I'm good. Yeah. You know? So that's my perspective. You know?
I got into tattooing after 08, 09, where I was at tattoo shops that had 0 weeks. Every single tattooer had a 0 week. Yeah. I definitely know what you're talking about. Like getting into tattooing for just like the pure love of it. But boy, I'm not going back, dude. Yeah. Like I do not want to go back. I fucking am terrified.
But it might be like a good place to start. Like I think that, like say people who start tattooing right now, or maybe right now is going back down again. So maybe like 3 years ago, right? Yeah. They only seen like you weren't allowed to like flex or show money, or like tattooers kind of like didn't show their car or like their lifestyle. It was very like tattoos. And so outsiders didn't really know anything about tattoos because it wasn't really open like that. Yeah. And now it's like you can do really well by exclusively only showing a lifestyle and only flexing. Yeah. And so then the people that attracts and that want a tattoo, they don't want a tattoo. They want what they think tattooing can help them obtain.
For sure. I mean, that's like a huge difference in tattooing.
Right. Like and so I think in that when they get into tattooing and they do have a 0 week and it is slow and it is hard, it totally shifts on what they wanted in tattooing. Yeah. So it's like, I think you kind of have to be okay with the worst case scenario to ever be able to work hard enough to be able to benefit from the best case scenario. Totally. I think
I definitely am.
People are shooting too high, I guess.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I mean like, you know, I think about the kids who got into tattooing in 2021 and 2022 and you know, and I was away during that time. That was like when I was like, I need to fucking get away from tattooing. I don't give a fuck about the money. Yeah. I don't care about any of it. And something happened in that time frame where people started tattooing thinking that like they're going to get rich being tattooers. Yeah. And because probably during that time there were a lot of tattooers getting rich.
It was a huge boom.
And so you see a lot of like people marketing as like tattooer, this is how much money I make. And like that's not you, dude. It's never going to be you. And maybe it is. Maybe for that one kid, you're gonna make $1 million being a tattooer or whatever.
Right.
But it's not. It ain't. It's like, it's not for the average person. And tattooing's, maybe there's a 1% of the 1% who are making that type of money.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of my friends who do not make a lot of money.
Right.
And I'm always like, dude, this is not, if you want to make money, go be a lawyer. Go do anything fucking else, dude.
Yeah, for
go
sure.
into be a contractor.
Yeah.
Do anything else.
Yeah.
Tattooing is not going to provide this like lifestyle thing that you think you're going to.
Well, and the more popular tattooing becomes, and the more the subculture becomes pop culture, if this is a respected art, if you're a commercial artist, then how many artists are commercially successful, and how many of them are hobbyists?
Well, and how many commercial? The problem with tattooing is that you cannot resell a tattoo.
Right.
So like there is no incentive for people to really spend boujou bucks on the piece of art, right? People buy $1 million pieces of art because it holds value for their money that's going to depreciate in value or whatever.
Right.
Like that's not a tattoo. So the person that's spending tons and tons of money on it, they're just, they're rare. There's not going to be a lot of people who are spending $500,000 on bodysuits or whatever.
I don't know.
Why?
I just think like I have this perspective where I feel like tattooing is going through two extremes right now. I think that tattooing is going to become a lot more affordable because of a lot more people are doing it. A lot more people are getting it. It's a lot more accessible. It brings down the overall value because it's more accessible,
Totally.
right? And then the tattooers that are here, whatever reason they're here, maybe it's hype, maybe it's like talent, maybe it's charisma,
social media,
whatever, social media, all of it.
Yeah.
You found a way to get here. Art is opinion based.
Yeah.
Right. So your time that you put in, it doesn't equate to more value.
Yeah.
Like the values decided at the point of sale. Like if you were to say that tattoo is not worth $10,000, like, well, the person that spent the $10,000 sure thought it was worth it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter all the people that didn't buy it because they weren't the customer base to begin with anyways. Right. Yeah. So I think that right now, I think that tattooing is the only art form that this young generation values, right? Like, for example, they may not buy, I don't know, like I have records on the wall, right? And some of my records are pretty valuable, and say a record was $100, right?
Yeah.
Like they may love that band. They may listen to that band on Spotify or YouTube all the time, but they're not going to buy it for $100.
Yeah.
But they will spend $100 and get it bootlegged as a tattoo.
Totally.
And I think that they value like they don't, the tangible art, like they value the art that they can wear, like they would rather buy a print on a t-shirt than a print for the wall.
Totally.
They'd rather buy a tattoo than so I think that in that it's the art form of the people that the people understand who even don't understand art. They understand tattoo art.
Yeah.
And so then there's levels to it. Right. And so if tattooing is this one of a kind, handmade, one-off piece of art, who's to say it's not as valuable as any other art? And the person that will spend $1 million on a weird modern painting, like why wouldn't they spend $1 million on a weird modern art tattoo?
Because of
because there are investors that buy it to appreciate as an asset.
Yeah.
And there are art nerds that have money and they want to just blow money.
Sure.
And they want to say, I spent this much money. The
100%.
value might be at the point of sale. They might want to be the clown that everyone's like, can you believe that? I'm going to make up a name. That Cardi B spent $2 million on this like fucking tattoo. That's so crazy, right? Look at it like that rapper got the big jewel in his forehead. Yeah. He's got a surface anchor with the big jewel. It was huge news.
Totally.
Right? Or the anesthesia tattoos or whatever. So it's like, yeah, everyone else, but it's kind of a flex. And we live in this flex culture.
I definitely, I know. I definitely know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do not think that $1 million paintings are being sold for millions of dollars without that monetary value that they perceive is going to stay in the painting, right? Like that is just part of art dealership.
Okay.
Like
there's no scenario. No scenario.
Wait. There's no way that you could tell me that people aren't spending $500 million on paintings without it's not just the flex, which it absolutely is, but they're doing it for the investment also. And that's the majority of their purchase.
Yeah,
Or else
majority of
they wouldn't
art collecting
buy it,
is that. Yeah.
Or they would not buy it for that price because there's no fucking way. If there was $500 million and it's going into the trash because you bought it, you can't resell it.
But that's art in itself.
Yes, but you cannot resell tattoos.
But isn't that more valuable?
I mean, I perceive it as that.
Wouldn't that value be a number that is like you can't place a number on it?
For sure, but you still can't. There's no practical there as an investment.
Right.
That is part of art.
Yeah.
We have said this is what this is worth. I'm going to be able to just resell it for more. And yes, absolutely. In my eyes, it makes a tattoo more valuable because it's a one of one. You're never going to be able to resell it. You're never going to all these things.
Right.
But art is still based off of the fact, we're seeing crazy numbers in art because they're able to resell it.
Okay.
There's just no
what if, all right, so if everyone's becoming a tattooer,
yeah,
what's stopping that high name artist from buying the pen that you use and doing those tattoos and fetching those numbers because their name behind it?
Okay, so say that again.
So let's say I don't know, any famous artist that sells $1 million paintings. I'm just fucking putting numbers out. Yeah. They start tattooing.
Sure.
They can command that value.
I don't think so.
No.
No, 100% no. I mean, at least if
this clip's going to be good because it'll be we'll say this and then it'll just go boom, news article.
Yeah. There's just first off, there has to be a tattoo, an artist who sells massive amounts of paintings and then tries to tattoo. And it's just that is built into that. It's like saying a house is buying a house is like buying a piece of painting. There's a value that they're expecting to resell it for. It's holding value.
But think about
and tattoos just cannot hold that value.
But it'd be the same as a dumb rapper buying this jewelry where most of it is in the design and the gold's only worth so much money.
Sure.
And they're not gonna resell that weird custom piece of jewelry that says their name on it for that much.
They absolutely
They're just throwing it away.
Well, okay, sure. That one
or sports car. Great example. Crazy depreciation value.
On certain ones, but there's absolutely good investment cars.
But no one wants the futuristic luxury car that's 10 years old. They only want the newest one.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of old.
I can buy
old cars that are more valuable today than they are.
But
without even.
But in the luxury category,
yeah,
I can get a 2008 Rolls Royce for $6,000.
Sure, because it's not a good investment.
Any of those. What about the Escalade? Any of these luxury cars are only luxurious when they're new.
But they're not good. They're not good investments. But that's and that's maybe not why maybe the owner's buying something to flex. I'm so okay with.
Doesn't mean that's my point though. It doesn't need to be a good investment.
For sure. But if you're saying that we're going to get to this place where tattoos are valued at millions of dollars or they're spending millions of dollars, there is one person who can buy it. Sure, whatever. But the vast majority of the people who are buying paintings for $5 million are buying it. But not just to throw the money away.
But it can't be a vast majority. It would have to be a small, crazy rich person minority. That would be look at me. I'm so rich. I can do this.
Yeah, but
for no other reason other than look, motherfucker, I did it.
Yeah, but that's like saying that they buy crazy houses for $1 billion.
Yeah.
There's that is a fucking flex. But they're still selling that house for $1.001 billion next year.
What do you think is the most expensive tattoo that's been done up until now?
I mean, anesthesia tats are $300,000 for
really
back piece or whatever.
I've heard 100 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, whatever crazy number, you know. So I mean, I think that's the upper limits of what a tattoo is valued at, and I think it's the upper. No one should spend that on a tattoo. I think that you are right. The tattooing is the people's art, and I think it needs to stay the people's art. So even the numbers that I hear of people in LA and New York, I'm no, that's fucked. But
it's also just adjusted inflation to the area they're within.
Sure. But there is an adjustment, and then there's you're borderline using whatever. I just don't see the value in it. And I'm someone who sees the value.
I think a lot of that can be like, a lot of it can be like an extreme end of a service industry. Like, if you want to get tattooed in this cool high end place, then you're paying to be in that place. Totally. So you're paying for that rent.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of it is like service amenities that get tacked on that fetch the price. Sure. Maybe they bring you wine or they bring you a coffee or whatever. You're paying, it's no different than going to a spa. You spend a shitload of money to go to a spa, sit there, So I think tattoo shops can fetch a high price off of just aesthetic and amenity alone.
Yeah.
And then also tack on the price and then the rarity of like false or real on demand.
Yeah.
Right.
That's definitely why they're tacking on crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't respect it.
Yeah.
It's
just a different thing.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a different genre of tattooing. If you want to
get that tattooed, that's totally cool. I'm super fucking okay with it.
Yeah.
I just you are not going to convince me that it's worth it
because
you put, I saw a reel the other day of a girl, a guy who did a portrait and it's like a beautiful shop and they fucking parked this El Camino or fucking some Camaro or some shit.
Some cool car. Yeah.
Fucking super cool. I don't fucking care. That doesn't change the price of the tattoo to me. Like, I don't fucking care what dumb business decisions you made. That tattoo's not worth $10,000.
See, I think you have a fair perspective, but it'd be no different than you could buy that beer at the liquor store, or you could buy that beer in that bar. Now that beer is worth more because of where you're drinking that beer.
For sure.
So I think that's a big part of it.
But it's like, imagine that beer goes from $5 to $100.
It does.
That's fucking crazy. And that's why I don't drink. But
but it's commonplace.
Stupid.
It's commonplace. It's like
that's dumb.
I'm with you.
I also don't respect that. Like, it's not like just because that's a fair point. I don't respect it. Yeah. I think, and so even in the tattoo farm, I don't fucking care. You have not sold me that tattoo is now worth $10,000 because of your fucking name that I don't know, and because of the shop that I don't fucking care about.
Right.
So like, and if a client is out there to pay it, fuck yeah, good for you. You filled a need.
You swindled them. You figured out
not
cheat
even
code.
Swindled it. You fucking did your thing and it worked out in your favor. I just don't fucking respect it. Like you haven't. This is a people's art to me, and I think that it should stay for the people. And I just don't. I don't. Don't.
I like that perspective. I think we're in this time where if tattooing is for all people, then it's like anything's on the table. So if everyone's becoming a tattooer and everyone's getting tattoos, like I can't meet all these demands, but I also can't deny that demand. There is going to be a demand for anesthesia tattoos, whether I want to do them or not.
Yeah.
Like I look at tattooing as there's many genres of tattooing, and some of these genres I don't even know about, I don't listen to, and it's just not my music I want to hear.
Totally.
And that's a weird thing to be so a part of this thing, but feel so disconnected from it.
Well, I think that's like for me, when I was getting out, like when I really hated tattooing the most, when I was like, I need to get the fuck away from it. It was because like there's part of me that is like, I just feel disconnected from this thing I love so much.
Right.
And like I go online and I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
And like I think that happens to a lot of tattooers. And I think now I try my best to correct, at least have some other version of what I think tattooing is, and I say it, and maybe feel connected to it or not. But I do think that like that's great. There's all these other genres, and like, yes, it's for the people, and people come and want all sorts of different things. So some person wants a fucking Camaro in their tattoo shop, and good for you. I just don't care about it.
I think the consumer is going to find what they want to purchase. But I think the beautiful thing about tattooing these different genres is that you get to kind of like create the world that you want to exist in, right?
Totally.
The shop that you work at, you get to pick the tunes that go on, you get to pick what goes on the wall, and you get to like pick how you treat people, and you get what you put out, you get a certain amount of that in return back. Yeah. And I think it's interesting when people talk about like tattoo community or tattoo industry, because like you probably don't talk to the tattoo shop down the street. It's a different community. They're like tattooing is just like, it's just like this subculture, tiny tribal cultures, and every tattoo shop is a different tribe.
Yeah.
And like I think when they're in some cases and in some places, there's more to go around. So maybe you're a little bit more friendly. But when it starts affecting your bottom dollar, maybe you're not as friendly. And a lot of tattooers who are the best of friends, they always seem to work pretty far apart from each other because it doesn't really affect their business of each other. But if they work closer together, they're probably a little bit more standoffish, you know? There's a little bit of selfishness that comes out in that.
Totally.
And so I always get irked when I hear people say, "Oh, I love the tattoo community." I'm like, what community? Where? What?
Yeah.
Like, what is this community?
Well,
you know, like
the tattoo community
it's such a blanket statement.
As far as I see, like, you know, because now I'm an outsider looking into American tattoo culture, right? And I think that, like, I walk into any shop in America and I say I'm a tattooer, and maybe they don't know anything about my YouTube, they're going to be a dick. Or, you know, there's a good chance that they're going to be a dick. You know, like, it's kind of shitty in that way. And it bums, that, like, is something that, like, bums me out. It's like,
to feel like a bit of an outsider within this thing.
No matter where you go. Like, you go to it, and sometimes maybe they're going to be cool because you don't tattoo in, you know, North Carolina. And so they're going to be cool because, you know, you're a tattooer, but you're not encroaching on their shit. But, like, other places in the world, you say you're a tattooer and you're like, we're homies. Like, we understand the same thing. Like, in in Mexico, if you go to whatever fucking shop you want in Mexico, they're going to be cool as fuck. Because, like, one, you're a tattooer. They're, you know, like, they like tattooers. They're not surrounded by a million tattooers, so they don't feel the pressures that an American tattooer will. And so, like, they're going to be chill with you. And, like, maybe they're not like that to the other tattooers in TJ or whatever, because they're right next to each other. But for the most part, they're going to be a lot cooler. And I think they are a lot cooler, and the community's a lot. There is an actual community there. And even, like, sometimes, like, we've talked about how I feel about other shops in my area, and I probably take my own American, like, fuck you. This is my tattoo. Any tattoo that I don't do is, you know, like, go fuck yourself. And I probably, like, ruin that a little bit too, you know? But it's also...
Yeah, you just gotta find it. You gotta find it. You gotta make it. You know,
like I went
because you've created your little community in that town that you wanted, that you felt you weren't getting.
Yeah, for sure. I love tattooers, but they're fucking wild boys, dude. Wild boys and wild girls, and, like, we love this thing, and we care about it, and so we think we love it the most, more than that guy and more than this guy, and we build things, and I fucking get it.
And I get afraid of this change of, like, of all these things in tattooing and feeling like where it's going and whatever. But it's really, I'm steering the fucking ship. Like, it's going wherever the fuck I want it to go, because I don't have to be doing that thing. Yeah. I could just do my thing. Yeah. And then if I do it well enough, that can be enough. And it's proven to be. Yeah. But I do have a fear of, like, I always have a fear of it going away. I have a fear of, like, not necessarily the word imposter syndrome, but just the volatility of it running out. Yeah. Like, the niche, like, going away. How do you, like, that is a fear. And I think why I work so much is because I'm afraid that I won't be able to, or no one will give a fuck next month or next year, you know?
Yeah, but has there ever been a time where they stopped giving a fuck for you?
No, it's only gotten better.
So
I've only gotten busier, and I've only gotten better.
About something that at least hasn't happened. You should be aware of that being a possibility, but it's like, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, that driving force causes a lot of just, like, unnecessary, like, anxiety, I guess.
Totally. We're always afraid of, like, you know, a million fucking things, and it's like,
yeah,
who cares? Like, it might happen, it might not. You already told me you wouldn't mind being homeless picking out avocados out of a trash can. So, like, why are we, why care about this going away or whatever?
Life's simple pleasures.
Yeah. But I mean, we just, you know, we love tattooing. That's for sure. You know, like, we get it. So we want to, like, control how it goes and all this shit, but we don't control it. We don't control none of it. We control how we participate in it. But this is not ours. Like, I've always, you know, like I said earlier, like, this, we love it the most. We don't control this motherfucker. This motherfucker is controlled by the other people who also love it in a different kind of way. And we're the minority, and we could try our best to, like, persuade people how to feel about it. But, like, still, the people are going to choose, you know, how this ship fucking goes.
Yeah.
Where we go, how this works out. And we just got to go along for the ride for the most part, you know, and then fucking fight for us, you know, like I'm going to try my best to redirect the way tattooing goes. Like that's the whole point of the channel.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's not, I mean, you're going to have your influence as a, like, people come to you for advice. If they're there to listen, then you're there to guide them. It happens, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
But even on like a bigger scale, you know, like I think that, you know, tattooing is so influenced by all the different things that, like, you know, the companies that run the shit that we buy and, you know, like all these different places, algorithms that tell us what a fucking good tattoo is versus a bad tattoo. And it's like our responsibility to at least try and fight those things as much as we can and be, you know, as, you know, create as good of things as we can to try and correct the ship. But, you know, at the end of the day, like the people control what we do and how we do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in tattooing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there any topics that we haven't touched on that you'd like to touch on before we wrap this one up?
You know, that's something I would like, you know, like I think it is, you know, as tattooers, I don't think we take enough responsibility in like the way, you know, the industry that like supplies things that we don't like. I don't think we do enough. You know, we don't create enough good businesses, and we don't do like we all want to be tattooers until we die. And it's like, bro, maybe that's not your position in life. Maybe your position is to like build a company that is really good for tattooing, owned by a tattooer, control what we can control as tattooers. And
I mean, I think it's a part of tattooing, but it's also like, it's simple as just voting with your dollar, you know, like, you know, I mean, I think like for me, like, I think about it with everything. Like when I go to eat something, I read the ingredients, I go to buy peanut butter and I'm like, oh, so has palm oil. And it's like, oh, I can eat that. But like, is it sustainable? I don't know. Oh, that's when ingredients are peanuts. Oh, okay. Well, it's about the same price. Okay. Like it's still peanut butter. I can't taste the difference, but I can choose difference and I can make the difference today.
Yeah.
At least in me feeling like I made my decision.
For sure.
And I got to like take my vote, and my vote does have an impact.
Yeah.
And I think that can be carried on to like the shoes you wear, the t-shirt you buy, where you buy your coffee, and where you buy your tattoo supplies.
Totally.
And so I think if everyone just kind of did that, I mean, I don't know that it'd be united enough to make at least like, I guess you can live with yourself and know the decision that you made is something that you're willing to like, you know, I think about that a lot. I definitely try to like vote with my dollar.
I definitely know that like that is like a beautiful concept. I just don't think I don't think that actually creates change. So
well, like you said too, you're like, tattooers are going to buy the supplies that are the cheapest.
Yes.
Right.
So tattoo businesses need to try and do what's actually going to make a difference in tattoo. Like if you want people to buy your supplies because you think that you're doing it right and you have the best interest for tattooing, you need to find a way to make that more affordable. Right. I'm not saying that that's practical, easy, or any of that fucking shit.
Right.
But I also don't care.
Something's got to give. You know? It's like it'd be the same as saying that if you're a real tattooer and you love tattooing, you need to find a way to make your tattoo as cheap as possible. So the consumer can make it as affordable as possible. If we're working class tattooers for the people, then the people that work in that area need to be able to afford that tattoo. Yeah. People talk about this like, you've seen that quote go around like, oh, tattooing is never meant for the high class, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But then the person posts that says, I'm booking for May. Yeah. And it's like, they don't have time for the common person. Yeah. And so it's like, what do you want it to be? You know what I mean? Like, is this a luxury or is it an accessible thing for everybody?
Yeah. I definitely want it to be an accessible thing for everybody. And I want I want people to make a good living and all this shit. And if you want, like, good for you. That's awesome. That's what I want.
Because you can create it off of quantity and work a lot, or you could create it off quality and make a little. Like, you can still get it. You know,
I think that if you want to charge $1,000 for a small traditional banger thing, good for you. That's great. Like, that's fine. I don't really see like a problem with that. It's like there's this like idea of like the higher end, like we're talking $10,000, $10,000 for a back piece is extremely reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like for the amount of work they're putting in, that's fucking very reasonable.
Yeah.
$15,000, fine. $45,000 for a back piece? I don't know who.
Maybe
when.
it's like Japanese and they've been in it 100 hours and they fucking like, whatever.
Whatever tattooer has made climb to that fucking cool. $100,000 because you have a great social media presence, like that's stupid.
Yeah.
But also like, you know, like I think that tattooing, there's like two sides of tattooing, and there's like the tattooer part, and it's like, you know, find your place. If you want to charge this much, you can. It's all up to how much you make. I think that there's a fucking place where it goes that I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I would
At a certain point, you get less and less return.
Totally.
Like there's a huge difference between a $50 tattoo and a $100 tattoo is twice as good.
Yeah.
100 to 200, like, okay, maybe it's like, you know, and then 200 to 400, 400 to 800, 800 to like, it. You get kind of less and less return.
Yeah.
But the minimum still, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, you know, like we're in this, you know, we all have to pick how much a tattoo costs at the end of the day.
Right.
We all have to do the thing. So it's like, yeah, there's just this balancing act of, you know, what I think is, you know, reasonable and fair. But like, if we're talking about this, the part of the industry, the needles, the supply companies, these ointment companies, these different things, like I think that they, for the most part, suck balls. Yeah. You know, like there's no company that I truly believe in that's doing a big thing. You know, like your Kingpins,
right?
Your fucking Mad Rabbits. I think they
the
fucking
problem
suck.
The problem with these companies is that they take from tattooers, and they don't provide back to tattooing.
They don't give anything.
They don't make tattooing better.
Not at all.
Like they don't like. You have to think about like, what service are you giving to tattooing? Like I think about this a lot with like a big tattoo convention.
Yeah.
So if you have a big tattoo convention, say you want to have a convention in Pasadena, it costs you $80,000 for the weekend, $10,000 for electricity, $10,000 for Wi-Fi, $10,000 for trash, $10,000 for security. Like you're gonna be at $150,000 to throw this weekend.
Yeah.
So how you make this the best convention ever? You need to have the most amount of booths because you need the most amount of money. So then it's like, okay, I'm gonna charge $600 or $1,000 for a booth, whatever. Okay, we're gonna be like, we're the biggest convention. We're gonna have so many booths. You can only bring so many people. So you get these tattooers to pay for the booth, and then they are in charge of advertising your convention, right? And then they bring their people they already had.
Yeah.
And what did you bring them?
Yeah.
Did they get a bunch of new clientele? Did their award really do much for them?
Yeah.
Like, was this prestigiousness like worth that?
Yeah.
So this is something that comes top down, that takes from tattooing.
100%.
You know, you think it's hard being in a tattoo shop where there's a tattoo shop across the street. Imagine 100 tattoo shops in the same room.
Yeah.
So this doesn't benefit anybody.
No.
But if you have a convention that's, say, small, maybe it's 20 or 50 booths, and maybe it's more invite only, it's more curated.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, okay, these names really do have a pull, and now there's more to go around.
Totally.
And maybe that money that person spent on that booth, they have more opportunity to you know, get ahead from it. And it's like, but the bigger that convention gets, the worse it gets for tattooers.
Totally.
You know? And so I think about this even in supplies and stuff like that too. Like, okay, I want to have the best product. Okay, the best product is not the cheapest product. Okay, what can I do for tattooing? I can have this needle company. Okay, this is what I like. Okay, may I sell enough at affordable price to where I can afford to have free needles for me and my shops? And then, okay, maybe I can have this podcast. And it's like, what tattoo supply company do you know that's had you on their podcast? Me.
Yeah.
Right. And so then now this is a supply company that's giving back to tattooing. The platform it has goes back to it. Or even the act of like on my supply page shouting out the people that use the needles.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like they feel seen by the company they buy from. Me writing a little note, me packing the orders. So right now, as the company is small, I can really like throw in some extra this. I can really give back to tattooers. I can make it better. Now the challenge I and all supply companies have is they start out great, but as you scale, how can I write a note in every single order? How can I give free shit in every single order? How can everyone be seen when you have such a large audience?
Yeah.
At a certain point, if it does well, it will take more than it gives back. And so I think you have to like, there's companies that do a great job. Like I'll give a shout out to like Bill Stevenson, like Waverly. Every time you order from Waverly, like, and this is small, but you'll get a little sample of ink. You'll get a little tea towel. It's been screen printed by him. You'll get some stickers. Might get a little air freshener, but it feels personal.
Yeah.
If you order from Wendy at Belzell Books, like you'll feel like you ordered from Wendy at Belzell Books.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, you know what? When I buy my next flash book, I'm buying it from Wendy. I can get it from someone else, but I'm buying it from Wendy. So I think what's missing from the tattoo industry is tattooers within this industry. So because there's such faceless companies. So if you were to order from Tatsoul, who owns Tatsoul? Take a wild guess. You don't fucking
I would
know.
guess an LL or like a corporation that is multiple people.
Bigger,
and none of them are tattooers.
Bigger than you can imagine.
Yeah.
They don't tattoo. They don't give a fuck about tattooing.
No.
They don't support tattooing. They want to sell as many tattoo supplies as possible.
Yeah.
Now they can only sell to so many tattooers.
Yeah.
So how do you sell more supplies? You
sell to scratchers and stuff.
Anybody.
Yeah.
You create this influence,
Yeah.
right? So then it's like the very competition that tattooers complain about is funded by the supply company that they support.
Totally.
So it's this tricky thing where I think to be accountable, you have to have your brand has to have a face behind it.
Yeah.
So when I order from Waverly, I'm ordering from Bill.
Yeah.
That's big, right? If you order from Saltwater, there's an idea of I'm ordering from Tim.
Yeah.
When you order from United Wind Supply, ordering from Wayne.
Yeah.
When you buy a Dan Cuban machine, you're buying from Dan Cuban. I think that's what tattooing needs. Tattooing needs tattooers.
100%. I agree. Like tattooing needs to be buying from tattooers, but I also think it's the responsibility of these companies or like these homemade companies, these these companies to go beat fucking Kingpin.
Yeah, but how do you you're asking a mom and pop shop to beat Walmart.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I know.
Not figuratively.
No, I know.
Like when they say tattooing is a $3 billion industry,
yeah,
that's not you and me. That's not tattooers.
Yeah.
That's the supplies that we buy from them.
First, one, they are not Walmart. They are a bootleg piece of shit company that does not belong in tattooing. So like it, and you could feel that way about Walmart, but Walmart does fucking good business, and they, whether they're ethical or whatever, they fucking crush it. I think a tattooer needs to be Walmart, and I think that that's the responsibility. And like again, is it easy? Fuck no. You have to go and compete, and I think that is possible. I definitely don't think that it's impossible. I think that we choose to allow these companies to hang out in our space, and we need to tell them to get the fuck out. You know, and it's like, how do you do that? By beating them. And how do you do that? By providing the best service, which is, like, I get the sentiment of like handwritten notes and like these, but that's not how you do best
No, but
business.
like you get them out by everyone collectively understanding and not buying it.
But I don't think
it doesn't exist if you don't buy it.
I think that it doesn't exist if you beat them in competition, which is the free, like that is business. We are here to win, and if you are not winning, then you are losing, and like these companies are kicking our fucking asses. And like it's so easy for me to say I do not have a supply company, but I still think it's worth saying, and I don't think fucking anybody says it, because these companies come in, they shit on us, they tell us what tattooing is and what it can be and where it's going, and that's not the fucking truth, because none of them goddamn know. And like, as tattooers, it's not going to be easy, but I think that there will be some huge businesses made by tattooers who will take those companies on. And I think that it's about fucking time, because fuck, like, and
I want to agree with you. I like what you're saying, but I have too much information to kind of agree. But I also feel like best business practice, government, family, friends, it is always most effective when it's small. And the larger something grows, like you can't, like you can have one best friend, you can't have 100 best friends. You can have a really good small tattoo shop. Could you run 100 of them? So the larger your thing grows, something's got to give. And so that's the problem, right? And everyone wants to get ahead. And these companies like Kingpin, we're good companies.
Yeah.
and they made some money and sold out. And it's like, I would never sell out. You put enough money in front of me, everyone has a number, they'll sell out. And so if these companies like keep acquiring more and more companies, it becomes a literal monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
And when it becomes a literal monopoly, like, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that you could beat them. I do not even care how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard. And I know that you know a lot of information about that space. There's no way that they're unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I would wish that people just stopped buying from them. Like, totally.
But we're going to do what's easiest for us, of course.
Yes. This is the way the world works.
Mm-hmm.
And until we're able to build companies that beat them, they are going to exist.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard, but someone's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's you. I hope it's me. I hope it's fucking whoever owns whatever fucking company out there,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not doing it, and they're doing not a great job at the business part of it. And it's like, it's our responsibility.
It also gets to a point too where I think also like the personality, and like most people are drawn to tattooing, like artists in general are visual. Like artists are not like number people. Yeah. Right. There's a reason why every actor has an agent. Every musician has an agent.
Totally.
Like these artists have business. People do business. So the artists can do art. Yeah. So these artists can create things. Most can't run the thing. Yeah. So these things start with good intentions, good ideas. There's idea people. There's people that can run the thing. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the problem where it kind of lies, is that, a tattooer who's really good at drawing pictures can't run a multi-million-dollar corporation. Yeah. And they can run it up to hundreds of thousands of dollars corporation. Yeah. And when they get offered, I'll throw a number out there for a couple companies that exist, $40 million, you take the money, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like these good ideas come from the ground up, grassroots ideas. But when they become big businesses, they can't be run by the people who make the ideas. This is every company ever. Watch Shark Tank. Yeah. This is always the case.
Totally. I definitely know what you're
So it can't scale to the highest level and still be pure.
But it absolutely can be.
Give me one example. Give me one example that exists.
In tattooing?
Not in tattooing. Just one example.
There's companies that I believe in that exist. I will be.
Give me one.
I would be cautious with what I say. I have plans for what I believe in.
No, give me
I know.
Like what's the McDonald's but didn't get sold? Like what's something that give me a.
Well, like first off, there's I'm gonna be cautious with what I said. They have plans and intentions that if I like start saying everything that I believe will at least in some ways infringe on the ideas I have that I would prefer to keep secret.
Fair.
Yeah. And like I think that there are examples. And I think that tattooing could be first off, I believe anything's possible. And I think everything is possible and will be done if you really want them to be. Right. So like nothing's impossible. And yes, there's companies that suck and they're fucking, whatever, all these money grubbing things. But there are good companies out there.
Yeah, of course.
Massive. And like massive, like even when we talk about Apple, like fuck, tons and tons of problems. You love an Apple iPhone. And so like what, they're better than everybody else. And so they do their job pretty well. So why can't there be something like that in tattooing that everybody uses and everyone at least likes enough to buy every time? That probably isn't, I just don't think that that's happening in tattooing.
Yeah. But you use products every single day that you have no problem with.
Yeah.
So maybe it is happening. Like Apple makes a good product. Yeah. But there's obvious ethical issues everyone points to every single time.
And we still use it.
Big supply companies like supply you your thing effectively and it works every single day. Yeah. But you don't like who runs the company.
Sure.
But it helps you run your business. Yeah. Maybe it already exists.
Yeah.
It's just what you value, who you want to vote for.
Yeah.
Who you want to put money in whose pocket.
Totally. And I
That's
think
all it
in
is.
tattooing, we are always going to be small enough that we do actually have more control in like those types of big companies.
Mm.
Like, I think that is just, I mean, we're, maybe they're, in the scale of big businesses, the tattoo supply company is small.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
someone can overtake them. And and do it in a way that tattooers are like, yeah, I like that one. Like that one doesn't fucking suck. That one's not the soulless piece of shit guy who fucking, came out of college and did nothing and started a business selling ointments or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there's room for it. It's not an unachievable thing. It's hard, and plenty of people have tried.
I wish I could throw like names under the bus. I have so much I have so many examples that'll just fucking crush your dream that I won't say, that I want to say. I hate knowing so much. It kills the magic.
Yeah, no, I get it. But
you come in like it's like anything, right? Like you're young and you have these like big aspirations and big ideas, and then the world just kind of reality,
Being naive is a golden, it's a beautiful thing. And I don't know everything about it, but I still know it's goddamn possible.
Yeah.
Like there's no fucking way that you can tell me it's not. Like we could talk about all the different statistics.
It's not that's not
there's
possible.
There's a way
it's just
around, and there's a way to beat those things. There's just
I think
the
so.
people you already told me that you think the artists who do it can't. So or at least because of who we are as people, you think
there
that
are
we can't.
exceptions. There are artists that can do both for sure.
Totally. I just think that it's not going to be easy. I don't know that it will be me or you or anybody else in our generation who does it, but it is at least our responsibility to try. And I think someone
from what I know from history, like I'm gonna talk about tattooing.
Yeah.
From what I know about the tattoo industry, the companies who have done it right, they did it right until they scaled up to where it was wrong. They were doing good. A big part of business is to grow it to where you can sell it. And it's like that's always the goal. Every company, that's always the goal, is to grow it so you can flip it. You fix up the house, you flip it. And that very idea isn't really good for it. And I think it's I think there's amazing ideas that start. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen I mean it's kind of hard to see one that's stayed. I think that it's a shelf life. I don't think everything's meant to go on forever. I think that you can have a really good I can have a really rad needle company for 10 years until it's not a rad company anymore. And I think that maybe Mickey Sharp's made really rad machines until they became mass produced. Yeah. I think that there's always a golden age. I love Metallica's first 4 albums. They're still making music. It's just not for me. It can exist. It's just I just don't believe that it can scale to the highest level and still be quality and still be ethical. People, if you're winning, someone has to lose. And the larger you scale, the more you win, the more people lose. Yeah. And if you get big enough, a lot of people are losing.
Yeah. I would say that they're losing because they're not good at business. Or whatever thing that they're competing in. Right. And it's if you're in business, you're competing in business. The best people are going to win. And if you're not beating them, the ideas that you have, however and I know you know a lot about the subject, and I know that it's so easy to be that's a naive perspective, but it's also a flawed perspective to think that we couldn't win. It's a closed off view to be you can't do it, because we can't. And there is always a way to win in those types of ways. It just hasn't been done before, clearly. Yeah. And it's going to be done. And when it does, it's gonna beat those things.
So what do you think tattooing needs? What was it lacking that you need so much from these companies?
I think that it's lacking a captain or a sail or a direction that is actually worth pursuing as far as like how much we can control. Like I said, I don't think we control all of it. I don't even know we control any of it, but I think that the tattoo companies can, at least in some way, on a bigger, make it better for tattooing all around. And I think that, one is like, I think of it with YouTube, and like, I don't think that anyone's done a good job leading tattooing in a good direction on YouTube. I think that you did a really good job. I don't think that it was perfect because it didn't go as long as I would want,
Right.
I think that there's something there that YouTube is missing, and we're not controlling the narrative in tattooing enough, like at all. I think that we allowed fucking Ink Masters. I think we allowed all these different fucking New York. We clearly failed in the content department. And Ed Hardy did a fucking amazing job starting it with like magazines and books and all this shit. And we dropped the ball somewhere. And now it's like, with the channel, it's like, I'm going to try my best. It might not be perfect. Might not even be good.
So that's your idea of like, if more tattooers kind of voice their opinion that they're holding out on, then maybe if there was enough of us, then that could be more content than one Ink Master creates, to where that is more popular and drives the opinion more than, say, an Ink Master.
Totally.
Is that the idea?
Say more than Ink Master, more than fucking algorithms, which control how tattooing goes. Like there's a lot of shit that controls where tattooing goes. And because we haven't opened our big, stupid fucking mouths, it's like we've created a void that's been filled by people that are telling you a $50,000 back piece is normal, or whatever perspective that they have that is probably not what the majority of us think.
I've always thought about it like the reason why that stuff won is because it was marketing in a way that I wouldn't market. It was making tattooing in a relatable way to more people than tattooing is actually relatable to anyway. So if I present tattooing as it is, it's going to fall on deaf ears because it's not relatable. But if I make a tattoo challenge that has something to do with cutting hair or fixing a car, then barbers and mechanics can like feel like they're a part of tattooing. I think Ink Master made tattooing relatable to people who would never be able to relate to it. And us as tattooers having a real perspective really isn't going to land on anyone else except for people who really understand this perspective.
Sure. For sure. But I also
so then
think,
you need to make crazy Ink Master content.
No, I need to beat Ink Master.
Yeah.
Like I need to get more views than Ink Master for my thing.
Right, yeah.
Like, so,
So how do you break through in a relatable way the Ink Master has to the person who doesn't give a fuck about tattoos? How do you make them give a fuck?
I think by making them give a fuck in different ways,
Okay.
I think that the content I make that tattooers probably don't like is relating to someone who wasn't going to find tattooing content interesting before,
Okay.
and it's like, that is one way that you can capture a new audience and educate a new audience. And you might not love the way I do it. And you might think that like, I'm too aggressive, or I'm too much of a dick, or I'm too much of this. And it's like, yeah, but people are watching and they're learning something. And it's my small way of trying to compete with these big ass fucking companies that are stealing up all the, creating opinions about tattooing.
But what if all can exist? Like, what if like, if what you're making is not for tattooers, then why can't there be tattooers make things for tattooers? You make the thing for that. They make the thing for that. Again, maybe there's just multiple genres. Could you capture all, Well,
I think we have enough tattooers making shit for tattooers.
Yeah.
Like there's a surplus of tattooers making shit for tattooers. There's no other people, with the exception of fucking Pony Lawson and Triacle Tats in the UK and Raleigh in the UK, who are actually making stuff for the consumers and the viewers. And because those get views, and they're getting views because they're not for tattooers, because there's not a million tattooers out in the world, but they're getting millions of views. So like, they're doing a very good job of controlling the narrative around tattooing. And tattooers shouldn't let only non-tattooers do that. And obviously there's Pony Lawson, there's me, who's, like, we're trying our best.
That's
but,
interesting.
I think it is our responsibility as tattooers to control that narrative. And I think it is the responsibility of tattooers to run businesses that we think are run well for tattooing, and give back to tattooing in some small way.
Right.
Just like run a good fucking business, that is beating these other businesses that probably suck and they're faceless and we don't know who the fuck owns them. You know, it's like, it is our responsibility.
Yeah, I think tattooers have kind of like maybe sat back and kind of just, maybe you're so busy tattooing you don't get to pay attention and shit just kind of happens, I guess, huh?
Totally. And we're all like fucking afraid of our egos and we all think we're the cool guys and there's all these millions of different reasons why we don't do the shit we do.
Right.
But we still got to. And like, you know, and it's not, you know, whatever. If you don't think we got to, well, then stop complaining in every back room of every tattoo shop that's ever fucking existed about everything that happens in tattooing. You fucking hate your clients because they have dumb opinions. Well, change their fucking opinions. If you don't like how much you're making as a tattooer, fucking make more as a tattooer in your own way. Like,
so is your perspective that if every tattooer kind of was like shared more of their authentic self, maybe like a little bit more of their opinions online, open tattooing up a little bit more, was a little bit more honest, wasn't such a closed off service industry, that maybe that can have effect on tattooing? Like why? What's the goal exactly? Help me round out this opinion.
Well, like, you're a tattooer, right? So you probably watch my stuff and you don't think anything of it. But like, your client watches my stuff.
Right.
And they're going to learn a new perspective about tattooing and what a tattooer actually feels about.
And if you
tattooing.
don't like that perspective, then you should be making the video to
please change that. But you are going to have an effect on the clients. Like, I don't fucking care about tattooers. I care about your guys' clients, you know, and your guys' clients are going to watch this. They're going to have some sort of shifted opinion because of it. And if you don't love my opinion, go fucking throw it.
But then if everyone has their opinion and they're super loud about it online, then and everyone's differed in their opinion, then it doesn't really bring tattooing into a new place at all. Isn't it better off that you're the one with the perspective doing it, and it's good that they're not doing it? So it's kind of move the needle to where what you want tattooing to be for your narrative.
I don't think that everyone needs to create content. Okay. I think that they can take control over the things that really bother them in tattooing and change it. So like, yeah, I'm not telling everyone to go make out. One, you probably don't want to be on camera as much as I am.
Right.
Two, you don't want to fucking edit and do all the bullshit, and you probably can't handle the amount of shit I get. You know, like there's I'm not telling you to go create content. I'm telling you to, like, the tattooers have more control in this thing than we allow, you know, than we think, and we don't do enough in the right ways. And
the hard thing is that the tattooers that do create the content, they're willing to do it for a couple bucks of needles for free a month, say they're sponsored by that big company. They're not willing to do it for themselves. They're selling someone else's product. I
mean, that's the beautiful thing about, you know, the content I make is, like, I have no sponsors. No one's going to fucking send me shit. No one likes that I fucking say the thing. You know, you were talking about Brown today. A lot of Browns fucking suck. Okay. Eternal's not going to sponsor me because I said that, you know, and I've said it a million times or whatever. So yeah, like, I'm not held down by any company or any of these, and every other tattoo guy is, or they also are concerned about their own shops in America being affected by what they said online too. You know, where I'm not. Like, I have a shop, it's going to function with or without me.
Right.
Doesn't matter what I say online because it's going to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of reasons for tattooers not to do what I do. Plus, it's awkward when you say something and your client is like, well, you know, you said that thing and it hurt my feelings. And you're like,
has that happened?
All the time.
Damn.
It happens all the time. I get comments. I mean, I get comments from, obviously, Instagram, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I get comments from my clients when they disagree with one, like, opinion. I get, you know, people will make videos disagreeing with me. I get a bunch of shit. But it's like, I don't.
So then you think that's more helpful than hurtful? Like, if
for me personally, yeah. Yeah.
But only because the AdSense revenue. If it doesn't drive business to your shop and your clients don't like it and tattooers don't like it, then what good is it doing for tattooing for
because 99% of other tattooers, other clients, other people care and like it. I just receive
that's fair.
A 1% of the 1% in person on, you know, like, we're talking about the tiniest percentage, and I get it, but there's also a million.
And you got to look at the larger picture. Like you said, you can't focus on that one thing.
My objective is a goal.
Yeah.
If I have to deal with, like, a client making an awkward statement about this thing that he disagreed with, like, who gives a shit?
That makes sense.
Got this.
That makes sense.
You know?
That's fair. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that's always the thing that I've tried to definitely avoid with that. I've always wanted to. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I don't know. It depends though. Like you said, your goal with it is a little bit different because you're not really getting tattoos from the channel. It's not driving business to the shop. So it doesn't really matter if it offends the person. It depends on like why you're doing the YouTube, I guess.
Yeah. And I have a bigger
a
goal, which is why I was like being kind of like, I do have a goal that is bigger that I would like to pursue. And I think that like, the question you asked earlier where I was kind of dodging it, it's like, that's the goal. I just am not ready to really talk about it.
Outside tattooing goal?
No. Within tattooing.
Oh.
But it's like not something that I'm ready to go for. It's not something. It's just a goal.
Yeah.
It might happen. It might never happen. I might not achieve it. I don't doesn't really matter. It's just that's the reason for all of it.
Little Easter egg.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not idiots. They heard the whole conversation. They could probably put it together.
Yeah.
Or they're idiots. I don't
Pipe
know.
dream.
Yeah. Well, not pipe dream. Just something that might happen or not. It's definitely not like a dream.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But I like.
Where do you think, I guess I need to go back and listen to the episode, but there's so many like little, I think, ending points I can end it, but what would you like your parting words to be if there's not a better clip in there somewhere where it's like a solid ending?
My parting words is that, I don't know. There ain't nothing, dog. I would end it right fucking there. There ain't nothing, dude.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, consider leaving a comment. If you're listening somewhere, write a review on the podcast app. I think you could kind of maybe do that on Spotify or something like that. These little things really help kind of get this interview in front of more eyeballs. This long form content is kind of a hard sell. So if you take the time and subscribe or share it to a friend or leave a comment, I'll read it. I'll write back. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next Monday, Jordan Burrow returns, episode 28. Don't be late. It's coming out soon. You might be late and it might already be out, dude. So, we're going to keep on trucking through. So, thank you.